All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I couldn't hear you before and I was reconnecting my, okay. Okay, here we go. All right. Welcome. How's everyone doing? Let me climb onto my teaching pedestal. My chairs. So for many years, I've had a chair that I would climb onto. Oh, sorry. And it would slowly sink. So by the time I was done, I would be like, I'm like looking up because this is a standing desk. And so then I finally, for the first time ever, got this chair and it doesn't sink. But this time what it does is it pops up. So every time I get off, when I try to get on again, it's really tall and I feel like I need to come up Everest before I can get on it and then push it down. It is very undignified way of getting into my chair. But anyway, um, we do what we can. All right, so good afternoon in the chat. Can everyone write in the chat, please, where I wrote? And here we go. So welcome back. And yeah, where's everyone? I did send the reminder today, right? Yeah. I got a couple of people who had some personal issues that they can't come back, which makes me sad, but hold on. I need to give me a second. I have to put my phone connected. Is it connected now? Yeah. Okay. So this is the one class. Mac level 1 is the one class where I don't spend that much time on the phone and iPad at the beginning. Later, we will be connecting because when we talk about file management, for the most part, we're talking about the files that are there in your computer. But as we're going to discover today, for some of you guys, for many of you guys, those files are also accessible from your iPhones, your iPads, yeah, the stuff that's on your computer. And when I say that, yeah, it's because that's one of those messages that people go, what do you mean? What do you mean my files are on my computer? I can get them. Yep, you can. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But I was going to say I did appreciate someone who couldn't make it today because some stuff was going on. They wrote to me and they said, I did complete the homework, but I was left with these files in the downloads that I don't know what they are. And that was the homework, right? It was do as much as you can with your downloads, get rid of everything that you don't need, put in your documents folder everything that you need, even if it's not yet organized, and then leave only in your document in your downloads folder, leave only files that you have no idea what they are or what to do with. So that's the homework. For those of you who had a clean downloads folder, you were supposed to move on to do that in your desktop. And or for some of you guys, it's your documents. You have tens of thousands of documents. And as we talk to people about their downloads or desktops, if yours are clean, you can be sub-organizing and getting rid of stuff you don't need anymore in your documents folder. So wherever you are, I don't think there's anyone who is so together that they have not a single unwanted or extra or old piece thing in their computer. When I say old, there's old things that are incredibly valuable you'll never get rid of, but I mean old as in, an invitation to a party that happened 3 years ago and it's still somewhere hanging out and you don't need it anymore, that kind of thing. Or of course old software. And we're going to find out that a lot of the stuff that takes up a lot of space ends up being photos, take up a bit of space and videos take up a ton of space. So for those of you who are wondering, I'm not going to deal specifically with the Photos app where your photos and videos reside. This time I will show you a way to work with them, but for the most part, that is all an entire class of its own that I'll be teaching in the fall, in the spring session. Okay, which is bizarrely enough called Living the iLife. But in that one I teach people how to deal with their.
Is that one listed now?
No, I don't think the spring classes are there yet, but then again, I always say that and I'm not sure when they come out. Let me check. I don't think they have any, I'm checking in. Hold on, I'm logging in. But by the way, why don't I share my screen so you see what I do when I'm checking and logging. I'm going to the school, sbcc.edu. I'm signing in. And I have faculty resources. And if I look down here, I have a way to find it. But if you are a student, you won't have these. You would have this one, which is class registration and schedule. So you click over there and here's the class search, the second thing. The first one's register, but you can't really register until you search for the classes you want, right? So it kind of one way or the other first. Anyway, so when you click on that one, you go to this place. And then the most important thing is that it's defaults to credit. So you need to click on non-credit. And anyway, but what I'm trying to say is spring 2025 here yet? And no. So in answer to Bob, spring 2025 is not available. But when you click fall 2020 non-credit, and then you have to select, then everything changes. And from now on, you're seeing non-credit classes. So you have to keep checking here until you see spring 2025 appear. And when spring 2025 appears, you click non-credit select, and then you'll be able to search. So no, I don't know when they put it out personally. But that's, and then if you know my last name, and most people don't, they know my first name. Think about, I'm your muse, right? Your computer muse. So it's Muse, M-U-S-A, Musakio. And then you click search, then you get at least my classes. Oh, anyway, so Catherine says that she learned so much from that class. Yeah, that class. And I'm looking at your guys' chat, and that's it. The rest of you are just saying hello. So please go to the chat and give me a little aloha or whatever way you want to say hello. And I'm just showing the fall classes. And this is in response to Bob asking if the spring 2025 classes were there yet. And I said no, but this is how you get there. I just wanted to mention that if anyone wants to take Photoshop, I have a class starting next week. It's Monday, Wednesdays, 4:30 to 7:15. And it's online on Zoom, and I need 20 people and I'm at 11. So I'm going to send an email out to let people know. But that said, if it happens to be that it's one of you guys is interested in taking it, that class is happening next week. Other than that, let me go back for a second to the class search. If you just signed in, I'm showing how to find classes. So say if I were to want to go back to summer, for example, you have to click summer non-credit select. Then here, which of course we don't want that right now. But if you say search, and I'm only doing this because this is the class. In the summer I taught it, it's Living the iLife. Okay. And in this one, the whole description isn't right. Like we don't have iDVD, GarageBand, web-based, all that stuff doesn't exist on the computer anymore. This is a very old description. So all I teach is iPhotos and iMovie, like how to deal with photos and videos on your computer and on your phone. Okay. So that would be the class I will teach in spring, and usually spring and summer. All right. So that's the one you would want to sign into, but we don't have that right now in this session. We only have, so I click on the date, this term, non-credit, then I click on select. Then everything shifts to only non-credit results. And then you can start typing the names of the classes, but it's very hard to find them that way. Versus if you know the instructor, you click here where it says all, and then you type the last name of the instructor, and you just write, like I do MU, if you just do like MUS, there it is, I pop in, right? So if, as long as you know a little bit of the name, that's enough. And then you click the search. Now you might want classes that you don't know the instructor to. So you could go over here and you could say, okay, I want, I don't know, creative art, older adults. You can click on that. And if you don't have a specific instructor and you look for older adults, creative art, and you say search, then any kind of classes that are creative art appear. So this is more like the type. It's just really hard to put in a name of a class because they want the exact perfect name. It needs to be in such a way that for the most part, we don't know it, or course numbers, or you're here to find the CRN, so you wouldn't have that. But this gives you a little bit of idea of what you'd want. Okay, so all of the classes that I teach for the Mac, and this is the part that's hard, are, it's so hard to figure it out. I think we are works, I don't even know. It's so hard to find these computer classes. I think we are this one, Comp Apps Workforce, which computers, apps, workforce, and which is bizarre. How would you know to search in that department? But if you search in that department, then you come up with Introduction to Computers, Internet, Word, Excel, and Facebook, Twitter. I think mine are here. Introduction to the Macintosh, Mac Level 1, searching the web, setting up a glob, and that kind of thing. So that's this department, the Comp Apps Workforce Prep. And you're like, I don't want to go to work. I'm just figuring out how to use my computer. That's why I'm saying it's kind of confusing to search that way. But yeah, and in my Photoshop and all those classes, I have them in 3 different departments, and graphic design and media arts and photography. Anyway, so that's how you use this. Okay. So if you are more like able to follow a teacher, once you get to know teachers, that would be an easier way to go. All right, so that was because so many people need to try to go in person, and now they don't let you submit paper registrations anymore. You can use this to sign up, or you can submit a PDF, right? But they don't let you necessarily put in that piece of paper. That they're not accepting paper registrations anymore. So if once you search over here and you know the CRN that you want, right? Then you would go here and click on registration. You click on registration, and then you say register. This is the same that we've had for register, add or drop classes. For when, for fall, you say submit, and then they begin to ask you, what are you here for? And da, 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 da. So once you finish all of that, and as a student, I'm going to get stopped. So you have to answer these things, and then you get to register. Okay. So once you agree, and I'm not sure I can do that because I am, yeah, okay. So I would get here, and then I could get to put in here a CRN number. So for example, that one, and then you just click on submit changes. That's it, right? And once you've already signed in, you don't need to do a lot of answers. So you just put in the CRN number, click submit change, and that's it. You'll be signed into the class. So that's the online registration. And I know that it sounds, oh, 3 things for me to say it so quickly. But once you do it once or twice, it really doesn't, it's the whole signing into applying for the college that's really complicated. But now you guys don't have to apply anymore. Once you know how to do this one time, as long as you do this once a year, I take a free class once a year. This is all you need to do. You basically just need to go over here, find the CRN, and then go click on registration. And then that's it. Click on register, put in the CRN, boom. It's like once the applications are over, signing up for a class is really easy. Okay. And now you guys don't have to apply anymore. So anyway, this was all in answer to a question whether the spring classes are ready to go, and I said no, but that's how you would check once you do know.
Deanna?
Okay. Yes.
And, I still enjoy getting the paper catalog because if, there may
Oh,
be
yeah.
I've never taken before. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
help if people can't remember how to spell your name or don't know the instructor. It's still
I know.
worthwhile to go to Chaucer's or wherever. And usually the libraries have copies if you don't get them.
Yeah, they have them all over town, in different places. You can find the catalogs, but just as long as you don't get mad when the class
Right.
catalog is wrong, okay, guys? Because they stopped printing it one session, and that was even more chaotic. People was like, oh, how do I know how to get my classes? Which of course, the system isn't good for being inspired by a class, right? This means you know where to go. But if you check the catalog, you go, oh, I never thought I could take Japanese calligraphy or whatever, right? And that's what the catalog is good for. But then you might sign up and discover that the class has been moved to another day or another schedule. That's the only problem that happens with the catalog, okay? So as long as you can have a combination of looking at the catalog and confirming online that that's the schedule that works for you. This class, for some of you guys, signed up thinking it finished at 3 p.m. and it finishes at 4:10 because that's what it said in the catalog, right? So that's the kind of thing that and some people
That's what
you'll
it
know
said online too.
yeah.
It said it
I'll-
online, yeah, because I
Yeah.
registered online.
No, exactly. If you register when the class comes out, that's what it says.
Yeah.
And then as people begin to revise, they go, oh, this is wrong, and they revise it. But online, they just change something and it switches. The catalog is printed there forever. What Julie's point is, and it would be really nice if the people who see that there's an error and fix it could email people who are already registered to tell them, oh, we changed the schedule of your class. That is what, pie in the sky. That would be ideal, but that's just doesn't it doesn't happen.
The
So-
computer programmers, they could set that up to automatically push a button and it would do it.
That's
It would,
right.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, trust me, it's so hard to even get the system changed a little bit that it's meetings and meetings, and that would be the ideal. I mean, you can keep writing to there's a director of admissions now for non-credit that we didn't have before. You can write them and say, hey, whenever there's a mistake, can you please? My concern about complaining too much about that, and this is a secondary concern, is that they might just go tell us teachers, okay, well, you can never make changes anymore, right? Because it's too complicated. As is, they don't want us to, but sometimes you just have to because the programmers put it in wrong, and you go, no, I could never do Tuesdays. You scheduled it in wrong, and then they just cancel your class instead of letting you move it, right? So it's a little bit of each. If they say, well, since that, yeah, now you have to live by the catalog, then if the people who input the stuff and put it wrong, then you're stuck with it. Anyway, okay, so welcome to everyone. Let me see who's here. Bob, who answered the initial question, asked the initial question. Julie, hi Julie, hi Viola, hi Catherine, Odessa, and Robin. Who else is here? Irma, I missed you the other day. Afra, let me add your last name, Afra, to your, there we go. Kate and Barbara Walsh, because there's two Barbaras, although the other Barbara isn't here yet. Susan and Lynn and Jarmoon and Denise. All right, nice to see you all. Nice, thank you for being here. Hi, Kate, nice to see you too. Now, I was beginning to, before everyone showed up, I was talking with the people who were here at the beginning about the homework. So your homework was, and who wants to describe what the homework was? Who remembers?
Cleaning up our files.
Cleaning up your, or specifically, I asked you to clean up your downloads folder, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that you can't also clean up more stuff, but I specifically asked you to clean up your downloads folder. Then I said, if you don't have too much in the downloads folder, then move to your desktop, right? So, and there's no right or wrong. If you did it or didn't do it, I just want a straight answer. I'm not going to chastise nor congratulate anyone. I'm just going to say, give me a yes if you cleaned out your downloads. Give me a no if you didn't. And if you said no, it's possible you didn't do it. You didn't have time. You just didn't do it. Or that you ran into issues, questions, problems, in which case raise your hand, right? And then if you did clean your downloads, the goal was to end up with some files that you just don't know what to do with, right? You're like, and so they're still there. They're in your downloads, and that's the files we wanted to target today. And those of you who already had the downloads done, I wanted you to do your desktop. So if you cleaned your desktop, you can also say yes and stuff like that. All right. But no one seems to have raised their hands. There was a hand up and then down, Susan. Yeah. So is that a question? Susan?
I have a perfectly clean desktop now.
Woo. All
I
right.
remember you helped me, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, it was so bad.
I remember.
You'd be so proud of me, Diane.
I am. No, I am so proud of you.
Now, when it comes to the downloads, that's a whole other story.
Yeah. Well, we start where we can, right? Thank you, Barbara, for clapping. There you go. You totally deserve being clapped at. It's hard, you guys, to sometimes do this work because you just don't want to look at your junk, some people, and other people just don't want to don't feel capable, right? And so here I'm just dealing with the capability of doing it. If you don't do it because you just don't want to organize your stuff, I am 100% fine. Each one has their computer, their house, whichever way they want it, but I want to teach you how in case you do want to. All right.
So I have just a little bit of question here. So I think my hesitancy in doing the downloads into the documents was because it just seemed like it'd be double work if I had a file to put them into instead of dragging them all over there. And then I've got to go back and try to figure everything into a file.
Yeah. So today we're going to organize, we're going to make those folders to organize. So for the most part, once you have your structure made, it's a little bit easier to put everything there. But at this point, most people have so much junk in their downloads that there's not that much to transfer, right? So that kind of works. Oh, Viola, you also cleaned up your desktop. Nice. Okay, and then I'm looking at other people's answers. Oh, Viola, you also did your desktop, but not your downloads. Okay. So here's the request I have. For example, Lynn says, I have 2 downloaded files that I don't know where to move. One is PKG and the other one is DMG. If you look at the chat, that's exactly what I want to hear. And that is exactly the result I was expecting for you guys to find some. When she says one is PKG and one is DMG, it's in the chat. If you go up a little bit, a couple, 4 people up, or something like that, then you look at the last, usually 3, sometimes 4, sometimes more, but usually 3 little letters that will be after the dot at the end of a name of a file. And that's what we call the extension. And that tells us what the file format is. So Lynn says she has a PKG and a DMG, and I would hope and expect that that would be what a lot of people have. So I'm going to clean your answers right now. And if you did the work, you would have, I'm going to stop your share, Afra. There we go. I would expect those 2 PKGs and DMGs to be stuff that's hanging out in your downloads or others. Okay. So I want you to do what Lynn did. I want you to go to the chat and just type, and you can put it in the downloads or in the desktop and wherever you found extensions that you don't know. So you can write PK, and I'm going to give an example, PKG, usually it's dot, right? But I totally dot, DMG, and you could have written, I don't know, there's so many, you could have written dot PNG, etc. And just hit like that. I just did. Give me 2 or 3, they didn't need to be so tidy, of extensions of things that you have no idea what they are, what to do with. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it dangerous? Is it safe? Any question like that, please put it in the chat. Or once I get going, you can also raise your hands and ask me. But all right, so what else? Any other classes? Oh, the non-credit tip. Oh, how to get into the, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So now I'm getting PNGs, Jarmoon, yes, PNG is an image. There's a certain type of image and usually maybe things that you downloaded from the internet or screenshots. All of the Mac, when you take a screenshot, it saves as a PNG. So it's possible that it's a screenshot of a recipe, right? So it looks like it's a document, but it's just a photo of it, right? And you would be able to write into it. So that would be a PNG. Now I'm getting DOCX, CER, PDF. Okay, that's Susan. So keep going down your list. And I was starting this by saying that someone emailed me. She couldn't make it to class today, but she emailed me and said, I did the homework, but I won't be able to be there. And these are the files that I got left over. So that was what I'm asking you to do here now in real life. And if you didn't do your homework, as in you didn't like clean it out, you might still have gotten but you might still have found files that confused you and you didn't know where they were, which is why you didn't do the work. So those would be the kind of files that I need you to write down. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing 2 or 3 people putting in some names. I don't see anything else from anyone else. So let's get going. First of all, let me see. I just let someone in. Oh, Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Barbara B. Bertucci versus Barbara W. Okay. So I'm going to clear your answers now. And I'm going to share my screen. So here's my screen. The homework was to empty the downloads and or to empty your desktop, right? And so I wanted to show you my desktop, which is a mess, right? I purposely have a bunch of stuff all over the place. But I also wanted to show you, let me move this up a little bit so I can see you guys. Hold on. There you go. All right, here we go. So a lot of this, and this is a little bit what Susan said at the, her comment was related, I think, to the fact that organizing all of this would be easier if I already had pre-made folders to put them in, right? And I'm going to say, yes, on the one hand, you're right. But on the other hand, it's also easier to just dump everything into one folder, right? And then from there, begin to put them in different places. Have you ever heard, and I just was reading the other day, some people say that to organize, was it the lady who said everything has to spark joy? To just put everything, like to organize your closet or something like that. I think you just pile every single thing that's in your closet on your bed, and then you slowly begin to like decide, do I want it? Do I not want it? Or something like that. That's a little bit what this is all about. We're going to make one folder, right? And dump everything into it, which makes it a little bit easier to process. Let me explain why. This is like so hard to deal with, but if I open a Finder window, and remember we head down to the corner and click one time, if I open a Finder window, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so I can see a lot of stuff, and then if I head to the desktop or to the downloads or wherever I go to, I'm going to head to the desktop because I'm referring to all this mess right here. Then when I get to my desktop through the Finder, I'm seeing the same exact files. We kind of proved that last time, but I just wanted to remind you that yes, this family files example is this family files example, okay? This thing that says 2023 sideways for each price is this one that says 2023 sideways. So it's the same. It's just I'm looking through a different view of the same thing. One is viewing it on my desktop and one is viewing your desktop through the Finder. How much easier would it be if all of this was collected in one place to organize, right? Because if so, then I can begin to easily move things into other folders. And that happens also here with documents. If I have a folder that's broccoli, cheese, something, it would be nice if I had a folder ready to put in recipes, right? Or if I click on this thing and this is, you know, an image that I want to keep, how nice would it be to immediately be able to put it in a folder of images that I want to keep or stuff like that, right? Or if I'm writing, I'm writing to have a folder that says all the things that I, you know, if I'm a writer, my different articles and novels or whatever would be to have a folder for that. So that's what we're going to begin to do today. We're going to create those folders so that then we can put the novel in the folder for things that I write and the lemon coconut in a place for my recipes. Does that make sense? So at this point, for those of you who have not yet organized your stuff, at the very, very least, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make all of the stuff that's in your desktop go into one folder and from there, we're going to begin to decide what truly does or doesn't need to be in there. The downloads, we're going to look at them through organizations and time and whatever, and use that to help us decide. But before we go to this sub-organization that I'm talking about right now, I want to show you guys a little trick, which is to organize based on files that are big, which you can do here, right? You can go to documents and you can click on size and then you see which are smaller, which are whatever. You could have done it that way. But there's another tool, and I don't want to confuse things too much, but there is another tool that literally shows you files that don't work anymore because they're too old for your computer and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to back off on this organization. That will happen today. But I want to show you this other tool because it's like when you're organizing, by the time we get to this, it's like you've got all your clothes and you need to figure out which drawer to put them in the closet. But what I'm going to show you right now, before I show you this one, is more like you take a look at everything in your house and you go, oh no, this is trash. It's like you're just grabbing the stuff that you know for sure you don't want and dumping it directly. And then you organize what you want, right? And so that's a different tool. So to find that tool, we're going to head down to the system settings and we're going to open our system settings. And now I'm going to share just the system settings. So everyone, please open their system settings. Now, who up here has an older operating system? I believe Barbara Bertucci has an older operating system, Irma. And those are the two that I remember. Who else had an older operating system? When I say older, I mean Monterey and older. Am I forgetting someone? No, Irma and Barbara. Am I correct, by the way? Is it Irma and Barbara? Yeah, I think there was one more. Maybe they're not here today. All right, because for you guys, you're going to find, so I'm going to, right now, what I'm sharing is only for Irma and Barbara. Everyone else, don't ask me, well, I don't see it. Well, don't ask me that. You won't see it because this is only for people who have the older operating systems. For you guys, just for you two, what you need to do is go up to your Apple icon. And when you're in your Apple icon, click on About This Mac. And this is not where it is on the newer systems, okay? So click on About This Mac. All right. And then once you get here, you're going to go to Storage. And once you get to Storage, you're going to click over here on the word Manage, and this will pop in. Okay, so let me show you again. And this is only for Barbara and Irma. You go to the Apple, About This Mac, Storage, and then you click on Manage. And so now you'll have this there and this there. If you get these two set up, sit right there and do nothing, because now I'm going to catch everyone else up on the newer Ventura or Sonoma. So I'm going to stop my share. Barbara and Irma, tell me if you have any issues, but if not, now what I'm showing is for everyone else. So for everyone else, Sonoma, Ventura, Sequoia, I believe someone said they had upgraded to Sequoia last week. Then we're going to our system settings and we're clicking on general. This is for everyone. Okay. And then over here under general, we'll find the word storage. Okay. And this is kind of equivalent to what we found that I just showed to the people in the other computer. Before we go into the details, I'm going to say that this is my Macintosh hard drive. Oh, someone wrote in the list. Diana, this is Robin on old Mac. Oh, so Robin, you just sent a message just to me. Those are the type of questions that you need to write that are class-based questions. So remember that when you write to say to everyone, that way people know what I'm asking. You also wrote package, DMG, photos, like you wrote messages just to me. It says direct message and no one else sees them. And these are class answers that I want everyone to be able to answer. So only if you have like, hey, the plumber's here, I'm be gone for 10 minutes, you can do a direct message to me. But for anything that's a question about classes, others might have your same questions, right? So you want to put those there. And you mentioned that you lost your Macintosh hard drive. So sure, I can point you back to how to get that. But for now, I want to, I'm letting some people in here. Okay. So here we go. What this is showing me is my computer, okay, and how much stuff I have in my computer. Now I want to draw a line here on the left side. When you go up and down on this sidebar, there is two things up here. There is SBCC business, which in your case might say Robin, Afra, Catherine, right? It would have your name. This is this computer's name because it's a school computer. It says Apple ID and then it says family. These two icons, it's like, I wish they would draw a line right there or make it a different color because these two icons refer to things outside your computer. It refers to the cloud, okay? And the iCloud that we're going to talk about a little bit more for those of you who weren't in the original intro to the Mac, you have more questions about it, but that's all about the cloud. But then if this could change name and have a line drawn, when it starts saying Wi-Fi and beyond, anything below that, this is specifically to your computer, the one that you're touching that's in front of you. So if this is general storage, it'll be about the storage that your computer has, your Macintosh hard drive. If it says appearance, it's what the desktop is going to look like in this computer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The battery, it's everything here is strictly about this one computer. Okay. Do you have a Wi-Fi connection or not? Is your Bluetooth turned on or not? That kind of thing. So general, all of this is information about this laptop. What laptop is it about? It's a MacBook Pro, yada, yada, yada. I back out. Do I have my software updated? Yada, yada, yada. And then I back out and so on and so forth. This is about this computer. And the third one is storage. And this is where I asked you to come. So this is stuff about your computer. All right. Because I'm going to refer to another thing that looks very similar to this a bit later. And that you'll see is not about your computer. So here's my computer. And at the very top, it's telling me that I have 350.61 gigabytes of 494.38 gigabytes used. So what does this mean? It means that my computer has a storage space of 494 gigabytes. Notice that this number isn't rounded out, but it's very near to 500. Okay. And that's how it's going to be. Some people will have a number very near to 500. Some people will have a number very near to 250. So you might have 248, for example, or something like that. or it might be a number very near to 125, right? So you might have 120 or 119. This is the size of your computer's hard drive, Macintosh HD, your hard drive. You can't change this. When you purchased it, it came with a size, and that's what you have. If you have more than 500 gigabytes, you would have a 1 TB, 1 terabyte. Because once you get to 1,000 gigabytes, it turns into 1 terabyte. It's like 12 inches make 1 foot, right? So 1,000 gigabytes is 1 terabyte. You might have 1 terabyte. You might have 2 terabytes. So that's the size of your computer's hard drive, HD. Okay. Now, once you have that number there, and actually, I think I have a highlighter here that I can use, I believe. Can I mark this with a highlighter? Yeah. Oh no, I cover it. It's not a highlighter, it just paints it, so that doesn't help. I thought there was a highlighter here. Sorry, I'm talking about the tools that we get shown, we get up. Ah, here's the highlighter. Yes, I do have a highlighter. Okay, so this number here, oh, it just makes it darker, is how much is been used of the space that I have, right? So this is the space that I have. And this, and let me change the color, is how much has been used. Ah, it's not very good, not very transparent. Okay, so like that refers to the used. And let me then change back to this number refers, wow,
Diane, are you starting to slow down?
not that I know of. Am I slowing down for everyone?
No, I
No,
meant your computer.
no. Oh,
Okay.
No. Okay, so I have used 350 of my 500 gigabytes, right? So everyone should read it that way. Now, for people who are in the other computer, I'm going to stop for Barbara and Irma. It's actually the other way around. It just says exactly the opposite, which is very frustrating because for people who are accustomed to reading one way or the other, in the past, it was written this other way. So now it would say that you have,
Where did you find that window?
this is my, remember I told you to open
I went there and I have those
about this Mac.
the 3 iCloud something something, but not the scale.
No. Let me change my entire screen then. I told you to check on file about this Mac and then click on storage. And this is storage, right?
Okay.
And then I told you click on manage and this opens. So we're ignoring this one for now. We're here.
Okay,
This here is identical to what I'm showing,
got it. Got
right?
it.
So when this finishes calculating, the only difference, and this is what I wanted to say, is that it writes it the other way around. Instead of saying, you know, it tells you that you have 200 available of 1 terabyte versus
Right,
it's the opposite.
right.
It just it's basically the opposite wording. Instead of showing you what's been used, it tells you how much space is left.
Got it.
Okay, so here you don't need to figure it out. Here you just know this empty space is, I have 226 gigabytes. I know it. Versus, okay, I'm going to stop now and go back to this one. Versus for those of us in this computer, it doesn't tell you what you have available. It tells you what you've used. I kind of thought it was more useful to know what was available. So right now, either you use a calculator if you're not good at math, or you put your mouse over this gray area and it says available 118 gigabytes. Got it? So this is what's left. They just switched. It's exactly the opposite, reading one or the other, but you don't worry about how it switched. Just read it the way it is for you now in the computer that you have. And this is exactly the same of what you can see in the your own phone or your own iPads. It'll show you how much space you have in your phone. Yes, Barbara? Barbara Walsh.
When you were clicking around, I tried to follow you and I came up with different things.
You're, there we go. So you were ready to stop and then you disappeared. Your sound disappeared.
Oh,
Say what was your
can
question
you hear
again?
me now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, when you were clicking around like about this computer and stuff, I tried
Yeah.
following you and I came up with different things than you
Okay,
did.
so I went to general and I went to about. And this is telling me what's about in my computer.
When I go to, I'm a general now and over on the right, I don't have about.
Scroll up or down. In your general, you don't have an about?
No.
What operating system do you have?
Oh, now I did. I clicked again and now I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, you were probably, in some place where it had disappeared. So yeah, just click on general and then the top choice is about.
Thank you.
And then storage was the third choice. And this is the one that we're playing around with right now. Okay, not playing around, investigating, checking out. So this computer, what it's telling me is I basically have out of 500 gigabytes, I only have 100 left. So I've only got 1/5 of the space of my computer is empty. So that's not good, right? I'm beginning to get pretty full here. Now, I can read over here and it'll tell me, well, my computer, the Mac OS is using 32 gigabytes. That's needed for the computer to run. Remember I told you some of the space that it uses to run, part of that is the space available on the desktop. Then if I hover over these teeny little bits, I have some mail, I have some downloads, and I have the yellow is documents, and this is applications, all the software that I have on my computer. And then something that most of you won't have is this one, because this says other users. So just so you know, this is a school computer, but I have it divided into 3 different users. And so when I switch over, I can use it as myself, my personal computer. And then I switch over and I use it as one setup for teaching for my graphics and one setup for teaching for my others. So this, I don't expect others to have, unless you happen to be the few people who have one computer used by 2 separate users, which is what I do. So most of the stuff that this computer is full of isn't accessible to me right now. It's used by myself. I would have to sign out of this computer, sign in again as a different user and a different password, and then I'd access this stuff, and all this would be inaccessible to me. Anyway, I don't want to confuse you guys, but just to explain why I can only deal with this stuff from orange through gray in this computer to be able to handle it. So when you have this much space left, like 1/5, you're beginning to be near in trouble, right? It's like you need to begin to figure out, well, what can I do? My computer's going to get too full very soon. So that's when you start to say, okay, let's find out if there's anything here that I don't need. And even if you aren't near right now, if you have a lot of empty space, consider that you still might have things that are useless to you and you want to deal with them right now. Because that way you cannot get to the point where, like me, you have very little space. So where do we do that? First of all, if we haven't talked yet about the trash, but one option is to have your trash empty automatically after your stuff has been there for 30 days, right? So it's not you empty your trash all the time, but when you put things in the trash, it'll live there for 30 days. So if a week ago I trashed something, remember last class, now it only has 3 weeks left to go before it disappears forever. By next week, it'll only have 2 weeks to go, and so on and so forth. And so when it gets to being a month old, then it disappears forever. Okay, so that is one thing. When you are looking over here, and I'm answering Susan's question. She said, why is iOS files? So Mac OS, this is my computer system. If you are doing this on your iPad or on your phone, it'll say iOS, which is the operating system for the mobile devices. Okay, the Mac OS is the operating system for the laptops and desktops. So that's what iOS means. All right. So if you turn this on, it says, are you sure you want to empty your trash automatically? Anything that you put in the trash will be erased after 30 days. That's it. If you say turn on, right, then don't worry, because when you're done, when you want to change that because you don't like that for some reason, you just come here and you change that choice, and then it won't be getting rid of it. But I venture to say that after this class, you would want this on. You would want to make sure that things that are older than 30 days disappear, because a lot of you guys might have stuff there that's been there forever and not knowing that. All right. So the next thing we're going to check on is whether the applications that I have are all valid. And some of you guys who just updated from an older system might discover that there's some applications here that are not valid anymore. So let me show you. We're going to go to the applications and go to the place where it tells me I have 80 gigabytes of applications. There's a little I. I'm going to click on that I, and this takes us to this window. And on the left side, I can begin to see all the different applications. It's kind of like what we saw in the Finder, but a little bit different. All these all these applications. And what I want you to notice is that under kind, some of you guys here will have something that says, what's the word?
There's one that says universal. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh,
It'll say something like, not old fashioned, but unusable,
Outdated.
outdated, something like that. What's the word? I'm running out of
Expired.
yeah, something like that. Expired, outdated. Basically, it'll say I think it's I don't know. How can I remember what the word is? So if no one is seeing that, then that's good. Is anyone seeing here a word similar to what I'm saying? I think it becomes between parentheses and it's like the application is
Unsupported?
unsupported. That's the word. Thank you.
Yeah, when it washer and
Unsupported.
dryer. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you see something here that says unsupported, that means that your operating system can't use that app anymore. It's probably because the app is too old. And I used to have something old here, and once I removed it by mistake when I was showing it, and now I don't have anything to show, and that's why I was my mistake, I clicked on it and removed it, and now I don't have that sample anymore. So I have to, so if you see anything that says unsupported, you can basically click on that. If this were the one that says unsupported, select it and then just delete it. Okay, because that's it. It means that it's something that your computer, it's too old for your computer to use. You need to your operating system, once you switch to this computer, that one you can't use anymore. So that's what that means. Okay.
Diane,
Yes.
when you have the operating system, when you're looking at the how much storage it's taking, I have a good bit going toward iCloud support. Does everybody have that?
Here in the app, wait, you
No,
were
no.
in,
No,
Barbara,
I was asking after. Yeah, up there.
you are in, not in this, you're in the other version, right?
Yes,
Where it says store in iCloud. Something
but
like
I
that?
saw this part. Yeah.
Yeah, so don't go there yet. What you
Okay.
need to do right
Okay,
now
I'll
is
wait.
click on the word applications, just like I did here. So hold on,
Yeah, yeah, I'm there.
click on the word
I have
applications.
I have a couple of other versions, and then I have 4 or 5 older versions. And that's
Um,
it.
Hold on, let me stop my share. And when I was showing you in the system, operating system that you have, it looks like this,
Yeah,
right? It looks a bit different. And then when you click on the word applications, this
Yeah.
looks like identical to what we have on the other computer.
right.
Exactly. So here, if you were to have anything here oh, here, for example, this is an older version. Older version. Older version does not mean unsupported. It just means older version. Like I have an older version of InDesign and a newer one, right?
Okay,
So if if I don't need one or the other, I go, oh yeah, I don't need this one. This is a good example of selecting it and hitting delete. But if I find anything here that says unsupported, so this is an older version, and then I have a newer version.
okay. And then you
Uh,
got 3 others. See the others down below? Yeah,
Yeah, that's okay. Others are just different kinds of file. These are
Okay.
the Google files, which are not the kind, that's all. Don't worry too much about these kinds per se. Just look at if it says older version, that means it's duplicate. See how I have 2 of
Mhm.
these?
yeah,
We don't need that. And if so that would be an example. So if I now get rid of this one right there, I would select it and click on the delete. And are you sure you want it? It'll be deleted and open up this much space. You can't undo it. I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm pretty sure I don't want it. So I'll hit delete. And here's the key. It's a big deal to take away, to add or take away an app. So it will ask you for your computer's password. Okay. Now the computer's password is the one that you are using to open or wake up your computer, right? So I'm going to put that one in here.
so that would be on all duplicates, Diane?
If you have duplicates, yeah, you don't need duplicates. And
Okay,
you'll say, okay, and then you'll cancel and it's going to disappear. Okay. So anything that's duplicates, why would you have 2? I actually have a reason why I have these 2 here, which is why I'm not deleting it, because I teach people how to use these apps. And I need to demo, just like in the Mac, I'm demoing 2 older ones. I usually have to demo 2 versions for people who have an older version. So I'm not deleting them, but 99.999% of you guys do not need 2 versions of something at all. It's just that I teach people, and just like I'm teaching you right now, 2 versions of operating systems. I also have, for some applications, I have 2 versions of those applications. Okay. But
thank you.
yeah, Susan, your hand is up.
Let me see here. Yeah, I can't get back into my applications. It was asking for my password and I just deleted that, so I didn't think that was important.
Okay. It's okay. So click back on general, click back in storage, and then click back on applications. And then when you go delete something, it'll, if you haven't put in your password, it'll go away.
Okay, well, it's, now I'm getting a strange script. It's okay, I'll
No,
go
but,
back.
well, no, what
Yeah.
does it say? Don't just say I'm using.
Well,
the
it
new.
just enter
What
the
does it say?
password you use to unlock the Mac.
Yeah.
I 2, so I'm. Ready.
Do you want to share your screen?
No, I'm just putting this password here and see what happens here. Okay, incorrect password. Okay, that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay,
move
it's the
on, move
password
on.
that you use when you open the computer up in the morning. That one, nothing too complicated. Okay, I'm gonna let you
Oh,
look at your password while I talk to Bob and Odessa. So yes, Bob.
Yes, I don't have the put in trash under recommendations. Mine says store in iCloud.
Um,
You know, under storage.
your computer says store in iCloud instead of trash.
Yeah, keep permanently. You know, the button you have.
Okay, did you move up? Did you change operating system to Sequoia? Someone had changed to Sequoia. I need to know who did that, if that's you. Not you?
No, it's not.
I think it was Dennis. Okay. Do you want to share your screen so I can see what you're talking about, please? Oh, you know what? You know how I just changed my trash? Let me see. Now, when I go back, it doesn't have that, give me that option anymore because I already made that choice. Store an iCloud message number 7 space. Okay, so let me let Adeline in. It's under your general and it's your iMac. And okay, so this has to do with the cloud. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna let me. Okay, I haven't taken people here in this class yet to see what's in the cloud, what's not in the cloud. So I'm gonna save this question for a little bit later. But basically, what it's talking about is just the word, just your messages. Okay, now your messages are any texts that you have, and so it says to keep all your messages in the cloud and save space on your computer by keeping only anything that's recently be attached to your messages if it's needed. Now, if you look up at your computer space, you have a ton of space. So look at, can you put your mouse a little bit higher so people can see what I'm talking about? So you have 830 gigs available out of 1,000, right? So you have a ton of space left. So if you, for now, don't want to deal with having stuff that's not on your computer, then don't choose this. If you're running out of space, right? So like at the last sentence, as when storage space is needed, if you begin to run out of space, one way to save space would be to not store the message, the text attachments. And I'm going to tell you, explain a little bit more about that, what I mean. But if you scroll down to your messages app, you'll see that you have 5 gigabytes of text space. Can you point to the messages and then point to the size so people can see? So in that, he has 5 gigabytes of messages. What does that mean? When you send people photos or video and they send you photos or videos, all that on texts, all of that gets stored. And so here he has 5 gigabytes worth of that. And what the message above is saying is, if you don't want to store them in your computer, then you can leave them only in the cloud, which would be something that would be a great idea if your computer is running out of space. But in your case, I don't think that's necessary. And you must have the trash already set to automatically disappear, to choose to automatically delete itself because you were not given that choice.
I don't recall that.
Yeah.
But you know, I want to keep all those messages anyways.
Did you say you do or you don't? I
Oh,
didn't hear.
no, I don't necessarily want to keep all those photographs. That's
Yeah.
message.
So I'm going to show you now how you can deal with well, here, let me just, okay. Since you're here, let's show that. So guys, go down, let me just show you. He has 5 gigabytes of text. Everyone scroll down to your app. I'm gonna get my annotate here so I can, everyone scroll down to your app that says messages. Okay. I just made a little circle around it, but now my circle is so tiny that you can't see it. And then I changed the size of my pen. Okay. So go ahead and head down to your messages right there and then see how much space you have there. And what this is text. Now, if you don't see the word messages anywhere, here's the thing. You might not have ever connected your texts to your computer. So you might have nothing here, which is what Robin is saying. She says, I don't have, I hear you, Alan. Thanks for joining us. Cool. And do your best from Idaho to follow through. Okay. So what some people have not put their text that you can't use your text through your computer, and this is very possible, in which case you might not see it, which is what Robin is saying. Okay. If so, then don't worry, you only have them on your phone. But for people who have connected it and have them here too, then now, yes, click on that little eye right there. Okay, so watch. What this is showing is the text attachments, text, videos, or photos,
Or
and
more.
how much space they take up on your computer. So the way it's showing it to you is based on name on the left side or size. I'm not sure which one's prioritized. It's no, by size. It's prioritizing by size. So basically the topmost ones, okay, scroll up to the very top. You have one that's 36 megabytes, right? And another one that's 22, and so on and so forth. So it's showing you from biggest to smallest, right? It's going up, down,
Yeah.
showing you all of your attachments. So you might go, whoa, this one is so much bigger than this one is only 16 megabytes. That one's 36 megabytes, right? But what if this one is so important to you that you don't care that it's big versus this one is unimportant to you? So how would you know? Well, go click on this one. Just click on it. And now hit the space bar. Wait, you clicked on it and didn't. So select it again. It kind of, you clicked
Wow.
on something else. Or did you double click on it?
Okay, let me, gosh.
Again, yeah, hit the space, hit
Demo.
your, what's up?
It's a movie, video.
Yeah. So when you click on it and hit the space bar, it should show you a little preview of it.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so that's not being shown on on your map, on your,
It is actually on mine. You can't see it.
no, we can't see it. But you guys, trust me, everyone else at home, it's not, oh yeah,
I can see it.
I'm saying, you're right, you're right. I was saying, I had my own thing in front of it. It's showing you a video. So now it's, you can go, oh, that video is, I don't know, my daughter's wedding. Of course I want it, no matter how big it is. Or you can go, oh, well, I really don't need that video for 36 megabytes worth. This is something that either you texted to someone or they texted to you. So if you discover that it's really important, then who cares that it's big? But if you discover that it's not, then you can delete it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this way of cleaning up your files, prioritize things by how much space they take, not by how important they are to you. Which if you were to do this like in the Photos app, you might go, oh, this is an important video or not an important video. I'll get rid of the unimportant ones. But this one helps you see their file size. Then you can go to the next one down and so on and so forth. If you were to want to delete it, then you would go back and you hit the space bar again for,
See our
for
work
the preview.
friends.
I'm muting you, Irma. Okay, so you would go back and hold on, I'm changing Irma's phone name to Irma. All right, the beauty of this tool is that instead of you having to go find all your files, which are bigger or smaller, it doesn't matter where they are showing them to you only by size. So you get to say, oh, okay, why do I have such a big yada yada? Some of you guys might find some, notice that very soon for him, it starts going down into 15. And then if you scroll down, 18, da, da. So you can look at the top 10, for example, and if you delete one of these, like if you delete that one that's 36 megabytes, it's worth so many more. And notice that the biggest files that you have are PDFs, movies, right? Or the next one is MP4, which is the one next one up was a recording, a sound recording, right? Like the next one, it's 22 Zoom recording MP4. If you click on that one, just select it. You have, yeah. And now if you hit the space bar again,
Oh, okay.
it'll demo the sound. Okay, it's, I think you have, I think you double clicked and it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
letting you demo it. So now you can go on that and then demo and
Mhm.
hear what it is and see if it's worth it for you to keep it.
But I heard that announcement.
Okay, so that's you, and then you go, oh, no, that, I don't need anymore, or yeah, that's a really important something. Okay, I'm gonna stop your share so you can just keep doing this in privacy, so to say, and keep looking at your stuff. You're welcome. I know that there's some other questions. I want to demo this a little bit more because some maybe Odessa, Susan, Lynn, your hands have been up for a while. You might have a question that's a bit different than this. So let me just really quickly show this that Bob just did. Let me just show you again. So here I am going to show this to you.
I was just trying to find messages. I couldn't find messages.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Messages might not be there. If you have not connected your phone to your computer, do you text on your phone, Susan?
Yes,
You text on your phone. And
Yeah.
so, sorry. Do you text on your computer?
no,
No. So then you won't have it here. Your texts are only on your phone. Does that make sense?
oh, okay.
So if you do text on your phone, then you might find that there. And so now I go to mine and I have a really big one here that's 18.6 megabytes and the next one's only 7. So this one's much bigger. And then I have a ton of really tiny ones. This is really small and this is really big. So I want to check out what's this one, and I hit the space bar. And when I hit the space bar, and I'm going to share my
The
entire
BBC
screen.
podcast that you're trying to download
Whoops.
is not available
Sound-
outside the UK.
Okay,
Many of the BBC
sound.
podcasts are available, and you can find out more at BBC.
Bob, I think someone's
/podcast.
Hello, someone's recording is being heard. I don't know who it is.
Wasn't me.
So, okay, so I said Bob only because you were there last, but anyone else who is clicking and listening to stuff, mute yourself because when it gets to videos and stuff, otherwise we're hearing it. Okay. So now I'm here and I'm going, sorry, I was saying I went to my messages and then I click on this one, that's really big, and I hit my space bar and it's like, oh, a bowl of soup. Okay. Do I need that? Ugh, probably not. So I'm going to hit the done. I'm actually not going to because I need to keep some things to demo. So I'm going to go to one of my tiny ones. I'm going to click on this one and go, do I need this one? And I go, nah, do I need that one? Definitely not. How about this one? Okay, I don't need that one. So I'm going to delete it. Okay, so you just do like that and delete what you don't want. So I'm going to just select it and say delete. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes, and notice at this time, it's not asking me for my password because it's just a file, right? Versus when I tried to delete an application and I said, delete this application, it's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to delete it? And then it'll make me it'll probably ask me for my password. I'm going to say done. So you can start looking at all the things. And even this is by alphabetic, by size order. So it's telling me what I have that uses most of my space here is applications. If I'm not ready to get rid of any of them because I use them all, then it goes, okay, I'll say done. And then I'll go, okay, how about documents? And this is the part that's interesting because this documents isn't about the documents folder. It's any documents that are in your computer, right? And this is the one that I wanted to bring you to because documents, I have 30 gigs worth of documents. When I click on this little info window, it doesn't matter at first where they are. It says large files. You can also go to downloads and all that other stuff, but if large files is selected, then it's just pointing to your computer's large files. And I have 20 gigabytes. Which is huge, worth of a file right here. And it's a movie, MOV. And when I click on it, it's showing me that this is a really long movie. And if you don't need that, why do I want that? Then this is something I can get rid of right now. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to click delete and I'm going to get rid of it. And it didn't matter. And this is what I'm not going to delete yet because I want to show you one thing. Over here, it's not about where it is, it's what size it is, right? The next one down, it's showing me something else, and the next one down. Okay, so these are all things that are showing me. Now, if I decide that I want them, I go, but where is this file? Like, how come I like it? I've never seen it. I don't know where it is. Then I can look down here and see this path bar. Remember we learned about path bars the other day? This file is in my downloads folder. See, it's telling me it's in your downloads folder. And when and it's in, I'm sorry, I'm clicking and so things are happening. Hold on. I don't want to. I'm selecting this file and I want to see where it is. If I click right there, and I just did that, watch. I click on the file, not up there, but on the path bar. In SPCC Teacher, in my downloads, there's this file. I touch it with my mouse, click. The Finder window opens up and it shows me a selection of that file. And here it is. It's this file, 20 gigabytes, and I can see it where it is, and it's in my downloads folder. Okay, so it looks like at some point I downloaded this file and I did it in July, yeah, in July. And do I need it anymore? And then if I decide I don't need it anymore, I get rid of it. Now, I could have already decided here that I didn't want it and I could have deleted it. But if I just wanted to find out a little bit more about it, then I clicked on it and it took me to where it's living. And if I do want it, if it's a movie, then I'll just keep it, in which case I'll put it in my Photos app. If it's like, you know, my kids, my grandkids, something like that, whoever it was, then I'll keep it. And then if I decide I don't want it, I'll get rid of it. Okay. But that's how I was able to find it in the computer. Okay. By it being told to me that it was this size. I am going to say done, and I'm going to let you guys keep playing with this while I answer some questions. So if you have questions, like this doesn't make sense to you or something's not working, raise your hand. There's 4 people who've been waiting for a while, so I'm going to answer questions before I move forward. Meanwhile, I want you guys to look at this tool and use it to get rid, especially things like messages. If you do have messages, it's like my mom, she sends me these huge files, little videos that she finds on the internet that are fun. She sends them to me and I end up with a big set of messages in my text, and they're cute to see once and to say, oh, how funny, but that's it. Then I don't need it anymore. So then I get rid of them, and I would have never known that until this tool came along. All right, let me see. Odessa?
Yes, I was in the applications, and when I was looking through the applications, I have an Adobe Illustrator 2023 and an Adobe Illustrator 2024. Can I safely delete the 2023 without affecting my 24?
Yes, this is the right place to do it from. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, the answer to that is absolutely, yeah. Get rid of the older one. There's only one caveat I always want to say when people are upgraded to a different application is hopefully you've tried the 2024 and it's working fine, right? Before you delete it, because sometimes when you upgrade or update an application doesn't work well, then you want to keep using the older one. That's all. But so yeah, once you've opened the new one and it works fine, then sure, yeah, you can get rid of the older one. A lot of applications don't do that. They replace themselves when you update, but Adobe gives you the choice to replace and erase or to leave it there and just add the new one. So if you don't know that, you might end up having 3 or 4 old versions there, and those take up a ton of space. So you always need to check on that. Okay. You do notice that there's a lot of questions that I'm answering for a while. So if you raised your hand, make a little note of what your question is, because I don't want you to have forgotten by the time I got to you. Okay. Susan? Susan? Your sound is off in case you are talking to me.
I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
So I'm in documents and I see all these movies and then I click on one and then I see the drop down bar and I
Yeah.
click on like captured videos and then it's in a file. But then it's in this other screen and not, there's
You know
two.
what? Can you just share your screen instead of explaining? Because it's so much easier to see.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll get rid of this big old thing here. All right.
Okay, so
Okay.
explain again your question.
Okay, so here are all these movies. I mean, for example, I click on this one and I go to captured videos. So it
No,
pops-
no. Hold on. Close that. I didn't say that that's ideal. I said first see what it is, and to see what it is, just click your select it. Now click your space bar. Space bar.
oh, okay,
Got it? It's like it plays for you, and it's a preview play. It's
right.
not the whole thing. So then at that point you can decide, oh, I do or not want it. Does that make sense? If you don't want it, you delete it. If you do want it, then you can decide this is a, really important one to me. Then you go and do what you just did, which is click on the word my video. So go one down. No, you're on captured videos. Go move to the right. No,
Oh,
to the right, that. Click on that one, yeah. Good. And now it shows you that video. And you can say, I really want this one. I want to keep it or not. If you want to keep it and you want to put it in your Photos app, then do that. If you don't want to put it in your Photos app, then you already have it in a folder and that's where it stays.
okay. So
Now, what's your question now? Mhm.
my question is up here, I have all these folders in iMovie projects and here captured videos. I don't know what captured videos means when it's a whole other page. And I mean, why wouldn't it be up here?
Well, move that up again so I can see the path bar to the captured videos. Just move it up because when you do that, I can't see. It says that your captured videos are in the easy VHS just to video movies. So this is different than your iMovie folder. You have in your movies folder, you have something called easy VHS to DVD, and in that folder, you have a folder that says captured video. So you keep, when you move that down, it's impossible to see. So make the windows smaller, but don't move down. I always say, guys, keep things inside of your screen. So no, that's not keeping it in. Move it to the left again. Go grab it from the right edge and make it I would say the right one, the one that's empty. No, that's your left edge, but that's okay. You can close it from here too. But and then move it up a bit so that it's smaller. The bottom part is what I want you, yeah, go down, and I like grabbing from that corner always because then you can do both at the same time. Okay. Now you can see the path bar, and when you, instead of moving things out of the way and losing your tools, the path bar is your tools, you make it smaller, then you come. Okay. So do you know what this video is?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't remember putting it there? I don't know. I'm asking. Okay. So then
16
what's that?
years ago.
Okay. So then go to the path right there, right above your mouse, right? So click on easy VHS to DVD.
Yeah,
Okay.
those four go into this captured videos. Okay.
Okay. And so inside of that folder, you have captured videos. Now, do you know what the easy VHS to DVD is? It one of the ones that you're interested in or not?
Yeah, I'm interested, all of them. I would want to keep all of them.
Okay, and they should go into my videos, what you have on the left side. Is that what you're saying? My first project.
Yeah, all of these here, why would these have a separate screen here in this?
Okay, so this on the left side, I'm going to show that. And we haven't really talked about paths yet, you guys. So this is an answer that I'm going to give you, and then I'm going to go and wait if you need more knowledge. But if you look down here, you have a folder called movies, right? And here you have a folder called movies. Now, inside of the folder called movies, you have iMovie projects. in which case these are all videos that you've been editing in iMovie. Okay, all of this.
Mm.
And so that's why they're called projects. Okay, and they
Okay.
are in here. Versus this one is not an iMovie project. In the same folder called iMovies, you have a folder called Easy VHS to Video, but it's not an iMovie project. So that's why this is not there. This is a different thing. If you did want them in there, you would have to open iMovie, open these videos and work on them and turn them into a project. But it's like a separate, it's like saying this is in the kitchen and this is in the bathroom. They're two, there's no reason this one would be there unless you know, if it doesn't belong in the bathroom, why would it be there? It's in the kitchen. It's in two different things. So this there is where both of these things are. And now what I really don't like is that we're looking at things in icon view. So it's really hard to explain this in icon view. So here's what I want to say. Grab this one and change the view up there. Change it to as list because I hate the icon view. It tells you nothing. Okay. Now click on the word movies. Okay, great. So now we are in your computer in the movies folder, in this movies folder. Okay. And this is your movies folder. And I'm going to talk about that. You have right here a folder called Easy VHS to DVD.
Hmm.
If you open that up with that little tiny arrow right there, yeah, there's your captured videos. Okay.
Okay.
So you, if you don't want them there, have to put them somewhere else versus the iMovie projects are in a different folder. Okay. Inside of the same place, but in a different folder.
Well, can I just rename this?
Of course.
Yeah.
Click on it and do a right click and say rename and give it whatever name you want to name it to.
Okay.
Okay, go for it. Change that and then that helps. Now, I'm going to stop your share, let you do that, but I just wanted to say that I want, for those of you for whom that was a bit like, what did you do there? Because you still don't know much about the paths. She knows about paths and folders. That's what's coming next. I'm giving you this tool for people to kind of move forward with deleting stuff they don't need, that they just see that they don't need, but I don't necessarily, this is not where you organize your files, which is kind of what Susan started asking. If it's in the wrong place, that's fine. We're going to organize files from the Finder window. All this tool does, and listen well, is helping you see stuff that's either unsupported, you get rid of quickly, or stuff that's too big and you go, oh, why do I even have that? Delete it. But this is not the place to organize from. Otherwise, you need to do everything we just did with Susan, which is finally getting all the way into the Finder, finally getting into the stuff. It's like, no. We're going to do that directly from the Finder. This is just showing you like a quick access to things that are unnecessary or too big. That's all. That's all that this tool is good for. It is not the place you organize from. And I know that there's questions. Hold on. So once again, this is good to see applications that are double or that I don't need, but it's not where I'm going to install applications. This is good to see files that are too large according to a certain number that the computer considers too large and go, do I really need that one anymore? No, I don't think I need that one anymore. And then you delete it. But this is not, oh, let me put this somewhere else. Like the whole thing that just happened with Susan, because then you need to go into here, you need to go into this. Don't reorganize yet. Just look at large files. Look at downloads, and this is a different way to look at downloads than we had before. And this is, again, shows you anything that's older than 1 year comes up at the top, because instead of size on downloads, the computer goes, the most important thing is, do I need it anymore? So then it selects this file and it tells you, what's this? I don't know. I hit the space bar. Oh, this was a fall 2023. Oh, you guys aren't seeing that one in my share. But it's a fall 2023 save the date for something that happened at school. And I go, no matter that it's big or small, I don't need it. And so I just delete it. But so for large files, it's telling you these are too large. Don't need them. Downloads, is this too old? Do you need it or not? So it's prioritizing by old. If I want to prioritize by size in downloads, I would have to click on the size, okay? And then here's where it kills me if I have any unsupported apps. And this is an important one. If you have any unsupported apps, select them here and delete them. Okay, that's all I want you to do here. Get rid of the most obvious stuff. And again, I know that there's a couple of people who have their hands up again, but I wanted to say you can do that to any of these things. But if you click on, for example, TV, right? And you click on that and it has something here you might see for people who download movies, right? And then they'd be showing here and you'd go, God, I watched that 3 years ago. I didn't even know it was on my computer. You select it and you delete it because at this point, people, you can just stream things. So people don't tend to download things anymore. But I have found people who do that here who discover that back when we did download movies to watch them, they've been sitting there for the last 5 years in their computer and they didn't know. Okay. So that's an example of stuff that you might not need. And so on and so forth. And the one that people get kind of blown away by is mail. It's like, what do you mean my mail is here? Again, this isn't going to show you who, from, what, where. It's just going to show you if there's any mail that that it's, you know, not worth keeping. And so it'll tell you how much space you have. And if you want to handle it, it'll have you open mail. If you want to handle documents, you should open the Finder. If you want to handle the iDrive, you should open the Finder. So basically it's telling you how much space you have, and it's only giving you access to a couple of things to handle from here, like big ones or old ones. The rest, you kind of need to go to the Finder, which is where the rest of today's class is going to end up being handled from, is from the Finder. All right. So don't try to do file organization from here. Just use it for what it's good for, which is to pinpoint certain things. Lynn.
I want to go back a little bit to the messages. And
Yeah.
I open it up, I got a lot of photos. Both all of them, almost all of them are photos. Some of them sent to me, and some of them was the photo I sent to somebody else.
Yeah.
And I don't need them anymore. If I delete this right here at this message right here, it will go away forever and we will show up on my photo folder.
Okay, so here's that's a great question. Here's the thing, and let me just explain to you guys. When you text photos to people or receive photos from people, that photo lives in your text app, which is the Messages app. So if you want that, here, let me open my Photos app. Again, I'm not teaching the Photos app right now, but this is my Photos app, right? But what I'm trying to say, since this is about stuff and whether to keep it or not, here's my Photos app. Here's text. If I choose to text someone this photo, if I text this to someone right now, I have it in my Photos app. It doesn't disappear, but it will also be copied onto my text app. So suddenly I will have it twice. So let me give you an example. So this one is image 5031. Okay. So I'm going to send it to someone. I'm going to text this and I'm going to, in this computer, I'm going to mail it. No, I wanted to text it. I don't have, can I text it from here? I don't have a phone. Oh, this is my sample computer. So it's harder to text from here because it doesn't have a real phone number. Let me see if it lets me. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna let me, because I don't have a phone attached. It's a long story, but I don't have a real phone attached to this. So it's harder to demo that. Here's what I wanted to demo. If I send this to someone, the photo doesn't disappear, I can send this again to 10 other people. It's just in my Photos app. Okay, I can keep sending it. But if I send this to 10 people, it'll appear 10 times in my messages. So it occupies that space and then 10 more times. If someone else sends me something, then it also appears in my messages. And so the question is, if I sent it to them, I still have it here in my Photos app. So why do I need it here? I don't need it here and here, right? So say that this is something that I sent to someone. I will have it here too, but I don't need it anymore to be in my computer twice. I sent this in May of 2023. So why do I want it hanging out in my texts? If I actually check over here, image 15555, let me see. Image 1555, there it is. I have it in my Photos app, right? I did a search for the file name. It's in my Photos app, right? But it's also in my Messages app because I sent it to someone. That one I want to keep, but this one I don't need to keep. So I'm going to delete it from here. And I'm deleting it from here. And it's not going to delete from the Photos app. See, it's still in my Photos app because this was duplicated in order to send it out. Okay, so every time you text something, you're making a duplicate of it and it lives in your text app. So if you have a really cute photo of your dog that you just cut the dog's hair and you sent it to 10 people all at once, you have one photo here where you sent it to 10 people who like your dog. But if you sent it to 10 different people each time, you send one text to this person, one text to that person, one text, you would have that photo here 10 times. So now you would want to come here and delete it because you don't need that photo here 10 times, nor even one time. This is still in your Photos app. Versus, so if it's your photo, you can delete it from here safely because you don't need it anymore. Versus if someone sent something to you, right? And if you do want to keep it, then you have to download it. So if I open my Messages app and someone sent this to me, okay? So if someone sent this to me, I can decide to keep it. I have to click on this little arrow that appears in my texts and keep it. I have to download it. I want to keep this one, I download it, okay? If so, and this one, when I do it, it's going to tell me it's already there. There it is. Now I don't have that little icon anymore. It's been downloaded. Okay. So that photo that had that little icon, it's been downloaded. Now what that means is it's gone into my library. Okay. And if I were to search for it, but there it is. See, there it is. It's been downloaded into my computer. So now I can delete it. I can now literally from my text, right click and delete, and it says it'll be deleted from your devices. This is my text app. My devices, meaning my phone, my computer, like the message will be deleted from your devices. Okay, but my photo has been saved because it's in the Photos app. I don't want to spend that much more time on the Message app or the Photos app. What I'm trying to say is in Messages, any photos that you have here, if you really, really want them, you need to download them. If you don't want them, you need to delete them. And the most interesting thing is that if you ask to show it to you in Finder, it'll tell you if it's in your Photos app. Like it'll tell you if it is in your Photos app, and if it's in your library's Photos app, and you have to go all the way here, then it'll tell you if you have it in your Photos app or not. I'm going to say done to this. I'm going to keep answering questions. A lot of the photos manipulation is what I'll teach you later, but right now I'm teaching you to empty space in your computer, and Messages is very much a place where people have texts and videos that they don't want anymore because they're old. They're like someone sent it to you 3 years ago. If you don't delete your text, that photo is still there. And I'm also going to ask you to show you how this works on your phone in a minute, okay? Catherine, and I'm just going to stop you for a second. Is your question what you wrote about Gmail?
It
Because-
is about the mail section when we go into storage.
Okay, so then I don't want to keep obfuscating things. Can you hold on to that question? Because
Sure,
we keep
absolutely. Question though, and maybe you're gonna detect to deal with this on the phone, just what you were just saying about the photos, is I take screenshots a lot of stuff. Where does that actually go live?
in your Photos app.
If I take a screenshot on my computer, it appears on my
Oh,
desktop.
on your desktop.
I
Yeah,
have to
sorry.
tell it,
Sorry, I was looking
open
at my phone.
photo. So I just didn't know, am I replicating, what's that replication
Hold on.
process?
Hold on. If you take a screenshot on your computer, it goes to your desktop. If you take it on your phone, it goes to your Photos app. So that's the big difference.
Okay.
So if it's in your computer, it lives in your desktop and you need to clear it out from there. Keep the ones
Or
you
move
want,
it into
keep
my
the ones that you
photos,
don't
like
want.
I just arrow it and then it lives and open it up in photos.
Exactly. Mhm.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're
And
welcome.
I'll wait for the other answer.
Held on to the email one because yeah,
Yeah,
I want
no
to.
problem.
Perfect. Irma.
Yes, so I don't text on my laptop,
Mhm.
and I have the file is really big on my laptop. Is there any way I can delete all that from my laptop?
Oh,
And will the text delete
okay.
everywhere else?
That's a good question. Very good question. Yes, or no, yes, if you delete it from your laptop, it'll delete from everywhere else. Okay. So if you don't text from your laptop, what you can do is you can disconnect your text app, like take your phone off of it, and then you won't be those photos, the messages, photos, emails, whatever, not emails, sorry, photos and videos that you message each other will go to your phone, but not to your computer. But if so, you need to go open the text app on your computer and tell it to not be connected to your phone number. So I don't necessarily want to let me, I'm like, what time is it? Can I show you this? Do I have this? Let me look at the time because there's
2:43.
stuff I need to get to for sure. So I'm going to show you this one time, Irma.
Okay.
And if it's confusing or not, watch the recording. I'm going to do it rather quickly.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So, and you are on an older computer system. So I'm going to show
Yes.
it to you on the older computer system. Okay. So let me close a little bit, some other stuff to get some things out of the way. Okay. So if you go to your messages app and open it, and this is, guys, I'm teaching you how to disconnect your phone from your text app, okay? Now, I liked having my texts here because when I want to write a long text, it's much easier to type and I'm just doing whatever here than it is on the phone. But if you have never used your text app here and you don't care about it, then when you open your text app, you go up to the top, it'll say messages, measures, settings or preferences. And then you go over from general to the messages and you disconnect this. You turn this off. And you don't, or you sign out. Like you don't use this to receive messages anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't have a message app on my laptop, so
wait. You just said that you have messages.
I went in through my storage. I see the app on my this manage storage. But I don't see, there's no app down here for
no, go to your Finder. You might not have it in your laptop, but you go it in your applications.
Oh, okay, Finder.
Go to your application, to a Finder window. Go to your applications, and remember the dock only shows the stuff that's most useful, and if you're not using it, it won't be there. So then go to the messages app that way.
Applications.
Go to applications, and then messages.
Yeah, okay.
And then
got it.
double
Right.
click your messages app, and that's where you would go then to the message preferences or whatever. Okay. So here's where you would fix that. You would disconnect yourself from that. Okay. I'm going to stop my share, and so anyone who thinks they don't need that, then there you go. Now you don't have to deal with messages occupying space on your computer. Like why would you if you don't? Denise.
Okay, I just have a quick question because my recap of the explanation that you gave is we have housekeeping duties to take care of, right? And I was wondering, you as an expert, how much time do you spend like keeping house with your computer, like decluttering? Because thanks to that great explanation, I realized, wow, we have some of the same data living in one place, and it might also be in another place, and stuff that people send us that we don't need, so there's a lot of housekeeping to do.
So there is. Great question, Denise. Just so you know, I'm very good at deleting junk from my text. I'm not so good at deleting junk from my mail. For example, whenever I go into my mail, especially my work mail, I don't delete almost anything. So the invitation to last year's in service is probably still sitting in my mail because I don't delete mails. So many times I've had to go back and refer to something that, yes, this did happen, or when did that happen, or did I send you this file, or did you send me that file? So I'm not good at housekeeping with mail. Housekeeping as far as getting rid of stuff. But I'm very good at housekeeping with texts because for a long time I had phones that were really small, and they got overwhelmed. And so whenever I get a text that's too big, that's got an image that I want, if I want it, I download it. My niece on her first birthday, I downloaded. If I saw it and said, how cute, thanks for sharing, and I don't need it anymore, I delete it. So it depends, right? So it's not a lot of housekeeping if you just delete it after you see it. It's just much harder when you have to go back and you have 2,000 photos, texts that you never deleted that now you need to delete. Does that make sense? So at some point, when you catch up, then it's really simple to receive a text and go, oh, how cute, that's awesome. That delete from your texts, right?
Right.
Now I'm sharing for a second here my phone because I want to show you the same stuff I've been showing. And I see that there's hands, but you guys have been waiting less. There's 4 people who had been waiting for a while, so I'm answering them. But Kate and Bob, hang in there for a minute because I wanted to show you. So here's my phone, right? So I'm going to the settings on my phone, right there. And when I go over here to my messages app, this is equivalent to what I just did with Susan, or Irma, who just asked me to delete it from their computer. This is not finding what's in it. This is just saying, do I want my phone to be connected or not? Do I want to receive text and stuff like that? So in the settings, I do that. But if I want to find the stuff that's in it, then I would also go through storage. So again, general, just like we did on my computer, only this time we go to iPhone storage. Instead of just storage, Mac just said storage here, it says iPhone storage. And here it's telling me how much space I have in my phone. I have 24 gigabytes used of 64. So this is exactly the same thing that we just did with, oh, I didn't want to do that. I touched this. I did not want to do that. Darn it. I was not looking at my phone and my finger touched this. I want this to stay on. How do you undo it? I'm trying to unclick on it and it's not. Shoot. Ugh. I need to figure out how to undo that. Now, let me actually write this down because I need to remember that I did this. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. I touched on something I didn't want to touch because when I'm on the phone, I have to look at the screen to move my mouse and my left thumb touches the phone and I didn't, so this, sorry, I needed to take a note of that so that after class I can handle what I just undo and what I just did. Anyway, so here it is. My iPhone has all this space. And again, I can go over here and say, well, how much space is used by, for example, my pages, my numbers, my mail. Okay. Or if I run out of names and my messages hasn't show up, I'm going to click on show all until I get to messages. And here's where I click on messages and here it'll show me how much space I have or not, and whether I want to get rid of it or not and stuff like that. And so like how many photos do I have here? And I click on that and it shows me the photos. And since this is my fake phone, it's not got much in it because I don't have much happening on this phone. So this is where you would go to get rid of stuff other than going to the actual text app, right? Because if you just actually open the actual text app, the problem with this is that what if you have like one or two people that you have been texting for 5 years? It's really hard to go 5 years back on your phone. You know what I'm trying to say? To start deleting stuff. I can right now, when my mom sends me something big, receive it and delete it. So say that I open this thing and I don't want this anymore. How do I delete it on the phone? Someone texted me, I click and I hold and I scroll down. So when I said I click and I hold, I literally click and hold down for quite a while, right? My photo, click and hold until this guy shows up here. I go to more. Sorry, I'm trying to do it with my wrong hand. Okay, click and hold, go down to more, and then I can trash it, right? But that's immediately, the moment I receive it and I don't want it anymore, I got it. I thought, thank you, I can trash it. But at this point, if you want to go and trash all stuff that you've had for a long time, it's much better to do it this way, where you go to the messages, you go to all the data and you look at this and you just delete them all at once. Okay. So
Deanna,
again,
I'm sorry, but it's showing me when I go to photos, it shows me pictures on my phone, and I can just delete straight from there, correct? Like these are messages, they're showing up in my messages because I sent them to people or they sent them to me and I don't want them. I know I don't want them. Just delete the whole, go through individually and delete them. Where you didn't have any were showing up, photos were showing up for you.
Yeah.
Messages, photos. Then it brings the actual pictures up and the
Yeah.
dates.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
all right. Thank
So
you.
that's when you delete them from there.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just want to be
No,
clear.
no. Thank you. That's a good one. Same with your iPad. Okay. And this is key. And someone had asked earlier, if you delete it from your phone and you are connected in your computer to your text, it'll delete from your computer, from your phone, and from your iPad. If you delete it from your computer, it'll delete from your phone and iPad. If you delete it from your iPad, it'll delete from your computer and your phone. Does that make sense? It's one text message. It just that it occupies space that if you don't need in one place, you don't need it anywhere. All right. Just wanted to clarify that. I'm going to answer a couple of questions and then we're going to take a break and then we're going to tackle this from the side of organization, which is what I said I wanted to do. After I showed you this quick tool, and I just showed you how to get to that tool on the phone, and I showed you how to get to the computer, and it's really good for just the big stuff, the stuff that I don't, I didn't even know I had, like messages. I always show that one because that's a biggie. But other than that, when we come back from break, we're going to organize stuff consciously ourselves. We're going to put things where we want them or not want them. So yes, Kate.
So WhatsApp, if I take a picture with WhatsApp, is it stored in my photos because it's an outside app, or where does it go and do I
Yes.
have to move them in?
Actually, I believe it is. Let me just check. This is my real phone, and yes, I use WhatsApp. For those of you who are not American, the rest of the world uses an app called WhatsApp, and I always laugh and I tell people because Americans are like, "What is that? Like, what's up?" It's actually a Facebook app. It's a communication tool that the rest of the world uses, and it's kind of like texting. If you text and take a photo while you are texting, that photo does go into your into your
I could check actually.
yeah, I can't. No, it does. I can't. I'm trying to remember to see if I could do a sample. But yes, if I now in my phone, right, open up the WhatsApp app, and from there, when I take a photo, does it go into my Photos app? Yes. You know what? I'm just showing. I don't have WhatsApp in this one, but I do have. It's the same thing for texting. So watch. Let me explain what I'm answering to her. If I want to text someone right now, this is my text. If I text this and I want to text someone, I click on this to make a new text, right? And I send it to someone. If I now were to click on this plus sign, one choice is to use my camera. If I go to my photos, I send them photos that I already have. But if I use my camera right now and I take a picture of my keyboard, I'm going to take a picture of my keyboard, right? Then I'm in my text app and the photo appears over here and I'm going to save it and send it to someone, right? I don't know. Who can I send this to? Hold on. I'm letting someone
Well,
in.
it kind of doesn't matter because you already took a picture of it, so it would already be in your photos.
So when I go to my Photos app, I believe there it is. And usually I thought that not until I sent it, but there it is. There's the Photos app. Okay. And it's the same for the WhatsApp. I thought I had to send it, but no, it's saved. I just took this photo. I didn't take it through my camera. I took it when I was taking a picture. Now, some of you guys might not know that you could do that, right? That when you text, that if you click on this plus sign, you get a choice to connect to your photos, right? To send a photo that you already have. But you also get a chance to take a photo. That photo goes into your Photos app.
So if I delete all the photos in my WhatsApp, they would still be in my photos unless they were received from someone as opposed
No.
to taken?
So let me send this one. Let me actually send this one. Let me just send it to, does anyone want to receive a photo from me? Give me your number. Okay. So I'm gonna, yeah, go ahead and give me your.
Okay, 310-924.
310-924.
9337.
There it is. So I'm going to take a photo again. I'm going to take one more. I'm clicking on the camera. I'm going to send a great photo of my, and this is this side, the numbers pad, so we can see that it's different than before, right? So I just took this photo and now I'm going to click on this little button and I just sent her a message. Okay.
And it's coming through WhatsApp.
Right now I'm texting because I don't have on this phone, I don't have WhatsApp. So
Right.
I just, and it applies as an answer that everyone can understand because everyone here texts, right? But it's the same for WhatsApp. So I sent it in there. If I know, I sent it to her. Now, when I go to my phone, there it is. Here's the first one I had taken. And then this one, see how I moved over to the F1. So this is the one that I just took. These are the two photos I just took. If I now go back to my messages and go, okay, I sent this to Kate, but I don't need it duplicated. So I am going to delete it. I am going to click and hold, go down here, click and hold, go to the more, and I'm going to delete it. I'm deleting, this is the text I just sent her.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm going to delete it.
I'm sorry.
And I'm going to delete the message. Guess what? It won't delete from her. She still got it. That makes no difference. You can't take back what you did. But if I go to my Photos app, I still have that photo. Okay. So I deleted that one that I sent. That's a duplicate. And this is the message I'm trying to ram into everyone's brain. The photos don't disappear from the Photos app. If you delete them from the text app or the WhatsApp app or all of those, once they're downloaded here, they stay here. But if I now send this photo to 10 more people, right? Kate and I individually to all of you, then in my messages app, I would have that photo 10 times. And ideally, I would go into my system settings and delete it because I don't need 11 versions of that photo. I'm fine with the one I have in my Photos app. The rest I don't need anymore. Okay. So WhatsApp functions that way. Text functions that way. Anything you share doesn't disappear from your stuff, even if you delete the message. And that's the good and the bad of messages and emails. Once they're sent, anything you delete deletes from your phone. They got it already. You're not deleting it from them unless you have a little bit of lag time to undo. But other than that, it's been sent and they got it. I see 2 new hands. Barbara and Bob, can you give me a quick question? Describe your question to see if it's a quick yes or no.
Yes, I wondered if you've already moved the photos that were in your messages and saved them someplace else, and you're back in your messages deleting those, it doesn't delete what you've moved.
No.
Thank you.
Great. And Bob? Your sound is off in case you're speaking, Bob.
Sorry, I've been watching the news lately, and I've seen that they have people that have texted, like say during January 6th, they're texting each other from their phones, but a year later, they can still get those texts from the people's phones. So even though I delete a text from my phone, it still exists somewhere, so that if I'm indicted for something I did, they can get a record of my messages, correct?
I'm not 100% sure if that's not through the phone company that they're getting them or how that works. I know that if I deleted text, I can't pick it up anymore, but that's something that experts can get your phone and they might be able to get it, but not like regular people wouldn't be able to get it. But also, if I sent it to someone, right? And this is the damning portion, is that even if I deleted it from my phone, the other person can show that they received it. You have no way to reach out to the people you sent it to say, no, I didn't send that, because they're like, yeah, look, here it is, right? So I think that's a lot of what's happening. But also, if FBI or whatever grabs your phone and they analyze it, they can see it. But I think when it comes to text, I'm not sure. I think it's through the company that you do the texting or the emails from. I'm not sure that there's a record on your phone of it anymore. But it's certainly a record in the Gmail or in the Yahoo or in the AT&T of it being sent. And I don't know what the privacy consent or not is for that. Not sure.
Well, I wonder when you're a government official, you're not allowed to, get rid of your text. Like you have to track everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's probably
emails and all that too.
Yeah, they can go back and see where the position of a phone was in case the person was near the person who was murdered. All that is real. They can track back where your phone was at a certain time to say, oh yeah, this person was in Miami. They couldn't have killed someone in California, right? Versus what you say. The phone won't lie, etc. So yeah, because they use that. So so no matter how much you delete things, as long as that thing happened in one way or another when you were online connected, they can still trace you. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, let's take a break. When we come back, it'll be not any more questions about this. Hang on to them, write them down. Okay, because we'll come back to this app. We'll come back to this stuff. But this that I just showed you, is like a quick access to your files and things that you have. You never thought that a photo that you texted or received is a file, but in a way it's something that lives in your phone or in your computer. Delete them from here as a way to delete stuff you just know you don't want, but it's not a way to organize them. So when we come back, we're going to begin to organize those things, that you kept in your downloads. First, I'm going to tell you what those extensions were that I didn't explain yet. And then I'm going to explain things that extension names that you said you didn't want, and then the things that you do want, we're going to talk about how to organize them. Okay. So I'm looking at the time.
(5:06). 3:06.
3:06. Okay, perfect. 3:06. So let's be back. Am I writing in the right place? Yeah, be back by
22.
3:20. Oh, because we went to 3:07 by the time I was talking. Okay, 3:22 p.m. I have two keyboards and I was writing it in the wrong keyboard. All right, see you guys then in 15 minutes. guys. Sorry, lost a little bit of time. As usual, I'll stay behind a bit more, but yeah, that was a longer break than I expected. I had to handle some stuff, but okay. Okay.
Oh, wow.
What's that?
Still have that cough, huh?
You know what? It used to be all day long. Now it's only 2 or 3 times a day, but it's not completely gone. But at least it's only a few times a day. So it feels to me like it's gone until I do cough. And then I go, oh, I guess it's still here. So you guys, if you are here and your video normally on, please turn it on so that I can see you. If you are here, but you normally don't have your video on, then give me a yes. So I know that in the background you're there. And we shall continue. Now I'm self-conscious because since I said that, now I have to. Okay. It didn't help that I was drinking water on the way here and it just kind of went down the wrong way, but okay. So something in my eyes. Something is bugging me suddenly here. And it was like, okay. In my eyes and my nose and my throat. Ow. All right. So we're going to start figuring out how do we handle all of this organization. Remember when I gave the example last class where I said, if you come from a multi-store that sells a bit of everything and you walk into the house and you just kind of dump everything at the entrance, be it butter that it's going to melt if it's summer, or shoes, or trash cans, you know, when you can buy a bit of everything and you just dump it all at the big entrance, that's the equivalent of the desktop that's messy, or the documents folder that's messy, or the downloads that's messy. Truly, the downloads is when you bring in stuff from the internet. The desktop is when you put stuff there because you don't know where else to find it. So the first thing that you need to do is have spaces that dedicated to things. And the computer comes with some spaces already made. So I'm going to open a Finder. I'm going to share right now my screen with the Finder window. So you guys open a Finder window, any Finder window. And I'm going to make that. On the left side, you have organizations already set up by the computer. And under the favorites, most of us have something called Recents, AirDrop, Applications, Downloads. Those tend to be the 4 things that all of us have. There might be some that are there or not there. You might have more things, like I have this one and I have that one. Some of you guys see the word movies. I think Susan just had movies on hers. You might see pictures. You might see some other stuff in there. You might see documents and desktop here under favorites. Others of you might see documents and desktop under the word iCloud, like I have right here. Some of you might have documents in both. Anyway, what this is quick access to places that exist in your computer. So remember that the dock was quick access to applications on your computer. And if you click on applications, you discover that I have 87 items here. I have 87 apps in my applications. But if I look at my dock, I have more like 20 apps on my dock only. I'm looking at how many icons if I count. So the rest of them are here in case I need them. Someone just now said messages wasn't on her dock. And I said, well, let's go on to your applications folder, go to the M, and there's your messages app. If you don't use it, you wouldn't have it on your dock. So that equivalent, which most people get because the doc is like a different place. And so you go, oh yeah, that's not where the document, the application resides. It's just like a quick button to access that place, right? If I want to quickly access the browser, I go and click on the browser on my dock. If I want to quickly access my system settings, I go to the dock to my system settings. Well, this brown part of the Finder window is the same. It's quick access to, for example, my downloads, or quick access to my applications folder, quick access to my desktop or documents. These buttons here can be there or not be there, and the documents folder doesn't disappear. The desktop folder doesn't disappear. The downloads folder doesn't disappear. And in fact, last week, I showed someone how to recover their downloads folder, or one of their folders. I think it was SBCC, their name folder. And then today in the chat, someone in the chat had asked me to help him recover, what was it again? I'm looking at the chat. Someone was missing. Okay, if you remember, just speak it up. Someone said, oh, Robin, you lost again the Macintosh icon. Can you help me put it in desktop again? Okay. A lot of the time, some people don't have their, I think last week someone didn't have their downloads. So what does this mean? That these aren't those places. These are just quick accesses to them, okay? So this is a quick way to access my downloads, but they don't live here. This is equivalent to the dock in that this is the way to get to them. So how do I actually get to these, the real folder that holds them? Well, if you all see the word downloads in there, if you click on that, then click on it. And then down here at the bottom of your screen on the, let me just make it a bit smaller so it's just easier to share. Down here, when you click on the word downloads, you'll see that the downloads is inside of something called SBCC Teacher. For you, it'll be your name. When I click on that, that's my name. In my case, SBCC Teacher. I should be seeing these folders. I should be seeing downloads, movies, music, pictures, and public. If I open, some of you will also see desktop and documents. Okay. So again, I went to downloads because I know you all have the downloads because we've been working with it. And then down here, I go to whichever is my name, my computer's name, and I click on that. If you got here, then fine, you don't need to say yes. If you didn't get here, if you can't figure out where it is, then give me a no and I'll help you. Meanwhile, Barbara, your hand has been up. So yeah, what's your question?
I don't know what I did, but I can't find documents or I've got general and accessibility and appearance and control center.
Okay, no. You're talking about two completely different things. You're talking about the system settings. I'm not in the system settings. I'm in a Finder window.
Oh,
God.
my screen. What's wrong with me?
This is the system settings that you're reading, appearance, general, that kind of stuff. That's fine. It's close.
Okay, I've got
close
my
that for
Finder
now.
window open.
This is the
Thank
Finder
you.
window, like little half smile. And then I sent us down to the downloads.
Oh.
And that's where I'm saying now click on your name. If you got here, everyone.
Okay, I've got Dropbox at the top.
Mhm.
Oh, there's downloads. Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you.
That's okay. All right. So now, if what you see here on yours is identical to mine, hold on, let me clear your answers.
Oh.
If it's identical to mine, I mean, it could be in a different order, right? But if it's identical to mine, give me a yes. If it's not identical to mine, if there's anything extra or different, then give me a no. And it's not that it's right or wrong, it's just different. settings. It's not like it's wrong if it isn't identical to mine, by the way. I'm just saying, if it isn't identical to mine, then let me know. Okay. So this is the true place where downloads resides. This is the true place where movies and music and pictures, where these things reside. Meaning that this, so watch, if this had been gone for some reason or another, I'm gonna, you can, by mistake, remove it. I'm gonna remove it from the sidebar. I removed the downloads. When I say this, I mean the downloads. Or if I remove the applications, remove from sidebar, suddenly they're gone. If I go back to SBCC teacher, sorry, because I have different apps. If I go over here, then from here, I can see that that's where I can still see the downloads, even though from here, the downloads is gone. Does that make sense? So what I need to do is I need to grab it and put it back in there. And now I see the downloads again. Trying to show you that this is like the doc, something where things can appear or disappear, and that's fine. Now, if I go down here on the sidebar to my documents or my desktop or my iCloud drive, these guys there, right? Then if I look down, I'm going to go to documents. If I look down at the path bar, my documents does not say my computer's name. It says iCloud Drive. If I click on my desktop, it says iCloud Drive. If I click on iCloud Drive, it just says iCloud Drive. Versus anything that's under favorites, if I click on SBCC Teacher, it's in users, that's in my computer. In my case, I have a fall file, which if I move it, it's in my downloads. It says it's in my SBCC Teacher users Macintosh hard drive, right? So the downloads always and forever, well, is in your computer. Documents, for some of you guys, is in your Macintosh hard drive. Same with desktop. For some of you guys, it's on the hard drive. And for some of you guys, it's in the iCloud drive. So downloads, if you look at downloads, every one of us says downloads, our name, users, Macintosh hard drive. There's no change. I would be very surprised if anyone's download says anything different than that. Okay. What does it say?
Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, shoot.
Your downloads, what does it read down here?
Well, down there it does. I'm sorry. I was looking.
Okay. Yeah. So the downloads lives in our computer, in our hard drive. Okay. Right there. Like that's it. Like, by the way, applications, that is where that lives in. Now, documents can live in the same place or in the iCloud drive. So now I need yes or no's from everyone. If when you click on the word documents, no matter when it is here, down here, you see the word iCloud drive, give me a yes. If when you click on documents down here, it says Macintosh hard drive, then give me a no. And I need answers from everyone. Okay, so Odessa already answered up there. Irma.
Can I ask you a question though? It's Irma.
Mm-hmm.
So on my documents, when I highlight documents and I go down to the bottom bar, the iCloud drive is in blue. It's not, it's just white. The cloud, the little cloud.
Yeah, that's okay, but that's because you have an older app.
Oh,
So mine on on the other computer, it's white. On this one, it's blue. It's because this is Sonoma. And you're in Monterey or whatever you're in.
okay. All right.
They changed the icon.
Okay.
So then you're a yes. Okay. So if this says the document says yes, sorry, it says iCloud Drive, you gave me a yes. Okay. So Catherine, Irma, and Bob, and Denise, and Barbara Walsh. How about Viola and Susan? Where's yours? And Afra? Afra, I know it's in the cloud. Robin, oh, you gave me the
It's
other
in the-
answer. Yeah, I got it. So that you have two computers, so I was looking at the one. Okay. Robin and Odessa who have, and Catherine have answered on the others. Okay. Viola, what happens with yours? Is your stuff in the iCloud or in the Macintosh hard drive? I can't hear you. Your sound is off. Viola, if you're trying to speak to me, trying to get an answer from you, but your sound is off. There we go.
I got it
Okay.
on.
Perfect.
I'm lost. Never mind. Pass me up.
Okay, but you know how to open a Finder window, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So now find the Word documents on the left side.
Yeah, I did.
And now read down at the bottom on the path bar, which I believe you have on right there. What does it say at the
I
beginning?
can't reach the path bar because my screen doesn't move. I have something wrong. Pass me up.
Okay. Do you want to, for a second, share your screen before I pass you up? Can you share your screen when you're saying that your screen
I
doesn't move?
can't.
You can't share your screen? Right now you don't see the option for clicking the share button. I think you've shared your screen before. No?
No, pass me up.
Okay, I'll let you go. And then Susan McIntyre. All right. I'm not getting a response for, okay. So what does this mean? If you said yes, okay, that means that your documents and desktop folders, the ones that come with the computer, exist in the cloud. And what does that mean? It means that all the things that you see on your desktop, they look so clearly to be on your desktop. They're sprayed through the desktop or not, because maybe you cleaned up your computer. They are in the cloud in a folder called desktop. And all the stuff that you see in your documents folder is in the cloud in a folder called documents. So when I click on any of the files here, if I go down here, it'll tell me it's in a documents folder, which is in my iCloud Drive. And in the desktop too, I click on anything that's here and it's telling me that it's in the iCloud Drive. Versus my downloads is telling me that my downloads are on this computer. Now, for those of you who said no, Julie, Robin, Odessa, and Lynn, your desktop and documents also say that they're in your computer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So all that, and what that means functionally is that, and now I'm talking to the people for whose their stuff is in the Macintosh hard drive. If you want to reach these files from your phone or from your iPad, you can't. That's all it means. Now, you might say, why would I ever want to do that? Well, if you happen to live right now somewhere in the East Coast in the path of the hurricane, you might wish you had, and you lost, flooded or whatever, you might wish your stuff had been on the cloud. because if your computer was washed away, all your stuff would still be available to you just by finding a computer that has the internet. Okay? Because those of you who said yes, your stuff is all still available. If you have your stuff on the cloud, then all you need to do is find a working computer and then go to the iCloud.com, sign in, and there it is. There's are your folders, your documents, your files, your phone numbers. Like people lost everything, guys. Their phones, their computers, they lost everything. If they were lucky if they got out with their lives. You don't have time to go find your computer, nor your time machine, nor if your phone wasn't in your pocket already, your phone. People who lost everything, except for if their stuff was on the cloud. They still have the phone numbers of family and loved ones. They still have the photos of family and loved ones. They still have their documents of their own. Okay. So that's, especially when these kind of tragedies happen, it's when I think more and more how, even when I tell you, if you don't have this, you need to have a time machine. Well, a time machine, I'll explain it later, it's still a physical thing. And we saw the other day that physical things all are gone, right? So this is not to tell you you have to put things online, but I'm explaining one of the reasons that you might want to consider when you're considering the pros and the cons. That's a pro. There's cons and there's pros. A big pro is you can lose all your devices, and the only thing you don't need to lose is your password to the iCloud.com. Or you have to set up, like we did last class, in Intro to the Mac, we talked a lot about recovery keys and stuff like that. So all you need to do is find a way in again to your recovery keys, and then anyone can lend you an old iPhone and until you can set yourself up with equipment and you can tap into your Apple ID, and you can call your friends, your nephews, your niece, everything, including your files, will be in the cloud. Huge pro. Huge negative, well, it's not so huge, but it is a negative, is that you might need to start paying for some space in the cloud, because you only get 5 gigabytes of space for free. And then after that, you need to start paying. So if you want your stuff to stay in the cloud, you might need to pay $1 a month to be able to support having all your files in the cloud. So it's $12 a year. I think at $12 a year, it's still a no-brainer. When you have more things than that and you need to start paying $2.99 a month, then it's more like okay, it's still I still think $34 a month is cheaper than losing everything. But yeah, that's it. You need to begin to pay more when you have more and more stuff. But more and more stuff, I'm meaning videos, thousands of videos, hundreds of thousands of photos, that kind of thing. Other than that, you can have bazillions of files like this, and you can never go even past the 5 free gigabytes. Okay, so those are the pros and the cons. The pros, even if you lose them, the device that holds them, you don't lose them. The con, you have to pay. So for those of you who said that your stuff is in your computer, I always say, okay, remember that you need to always have a backup. And a backup would be something that I teach in Mac Level 2, is how to make a physical backup, which is what I'm showing you here right now in my computer, in my hand. This would be something that I will have sitting next to my computer, and it's recording everything else on my computer. Now, this works if your computer dies or if you're traveling with it and it gets stolen and this is still at home. But this doesn't work if a flood washes your house away or even just gets your stuff wet, okay? Because it's physical. So I still recommend, for those of you who choose a time machine, which is amazing for so many other reasons, and it only costs you the value of one of these guys that might be $50 or something like that, but you buy it once and never again, versus you need to keep paying $1 a month every month for the cloud. But the negative is that that can also disappear. So I still recommend people getting a service where they can put their stuff online, like Backblaze or something like that. We'll talk about that when we talk about backups in Mac Level 2. Now, I'm seeing a few hands up, so let me answer those questions and then we'll figure out why am I bothering to tell you where the stuff is and what to do about it. Yes, Robin.
So how can I tell how much room is in my iCloud drive? And I also want to switch things over to that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of, you know.
Great question.
Yeah.
All right, let me show you. And before I go show you, Barbara, in case it's a quick yes or no, what's your question?
No, it's not.
It's not a quick yes or no?
Not a quick one.
All right, then hold in there. Okay. So everyone, the question was, how do you know how much space you have in your drive? So I'm in the system settings. And remember that I said from here down, it's all about your computer. And from here up, it's about your iCloud drive, your iCloud. So I'm going to head over here to the top where it says my name, or at least in this case, my computer's name, and the Apple ID. And now I'm going to head down and click on the word iCloud. And now we see exactly the same thing we saw here under general, that we saw general and storage. It told me what my computer is holding. When you go up here to your cloud, it tells you how much your cloud is storing. So there's two different places. There's the storage of your computer and the storage of the cloud. Okay, so when you come here, if you're not paying anything, it should say how many gigabytes of 5 gigabytes used. 5 gigabytes is free. If you're paying $1 a month, then it'll say 18 gigabytes in my case of 50 gigabytes, because that's how many gigabytes you get for free for $1 a month. So if you're paying $2.99 a month, then it would say 200 gigabytes, and so on and so forth.
I'm
right.
sorry, I don't see how you got to there.
Okay, I click on system settings, click on your name.
I clicked on, I don't think I'm on the right part of my name.
So what's your operating system? Are you on an older operating system? No.
No.
Okay,
no,
so then
not.
head all the way up here and click on your name. Don't
Well,
worry
it's
about
not there.
anything else.
It's not there.
On the system settings, not on the Finder window. On the system settings.
Oh, okay.
Not on the Finder window. On your system settings.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay, then click on the top. And then here, click on the word iCloud.
Okay. So what I have on here is photos. The apps using iCloud are photos, iCloud Drive.
No. Don't bother about that. Don't bother about that.
Okay. Don't bother
At
about
the
that.
top. Not
Yeah.
yet. I'm just want to see the top.
Okay.
What does it say here on the top?
It says 118 gigabytes available.
Now, that means you're paying some money.
I am.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were, okay, you do have.
No,
you are
I didn't say I wasn't.
No,
I
you're
just
right.
said
You're
it's not
asking how to,
connected.
yeah, you're asking how to connect them. Thank you. Sorry. Most people who aren't connected are also not paying.
Right.
So that's why I made a default thought. Okay.
I have a bunch of photos connected.
So your photos are there, but
Yeah.
not your documents. Got it.
My
Okay.
messages.
All right. So usually you guys, the first reason people begin to use this is because their phone runs out of space or something like that, and you can start paying, and then your photos from the phone go to the cloud. But if you're in your computer, you might want to put also your documents. And so down here, under apps using the iCloud, well, first of all, you should optimize max storage. It should be turned on.
It is. Yeah.
And then when you head down to iCloud Drive, it'll ask you you can turn on this little thing that says desktop and document folders, keep them
Just
in
click
the
that.
cloud. Mhm.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's Catherine, and Robin is on my family plan. I don't know, is there a way to check if she's ever used it before? I have like 2 terabytes.
Oh.
If you haven't invited her to participate,
No, I have the option like you have you can switch from your personal to your SBCC. I can switch from Robin Lynn Jacobs to family.
So I'm just wondering if she's using mine or not using mine, because I just checked and it doesn't let me know. She's
No,
listed
here's
as a
the part that,
sharer.
yeah, what I'm trying to understand is
I am.
what you just said about being able to change. Do you mean you have 2 users, like under users and groups? You have 2 people?
Up at the top, I
Oh,
have
okay.
Robin Lynn Jacobs
Or
and I
family.
have family.
It's not 2 different places. It's not 2 different things at all.
Okay.
This is your computer, your Apple ID, period. This just means that someone has invited you to be part of a group, a family group, and
Yes.
that you would be able to share the space that one person is paying. Maybe everyone's putting in some money, but one person is paying, and you can use that space, or you can use their subscriptions or their locations or stuff like that. Actually, this isn't what I wanted to do. So that's all it means, but it's not that you're doing one way or the other. So the part that I'm trying to, maybe you're going to have to share is because when you go to the cloud, this space might be, the amount of space you have here might be the shared space or not. If you say you only have 119 gigabytes and you're paying, then that's, Catherine says that, I mean, who's paying, Catherine?
I'm paying, I've got like a terabyte or 2 terabytes. And I've
We're
invited her
both
to
paying.
share it, and she,
I'm
well,
also,
I don't know if you're double paying. I mean, I have.
Yeah, yeah,
tons of
so that's
storage.
what I'm
That's
thinking
what
is
I'm
that,
saying.
what I'm saying is you guys might be, yeah, you might be double paying. Do you know how much you pay? Robin, can you share your screen with me, please?
yeah, if I can find
you
that
know-
place. Under more.
My view changed. I don't know how to get.
Can you click on, can you, do you see the share button? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, let me see. You,
Oh, I get there.
when you, here it says family, and it does say that it's, hold on, I need to make this a little bit bigger. At the top, it says Catherine Organizer, right?
Oh,
See what you can access. Go ahead and click on Catherine Organizer. Click on that. And this is the Apple ID used for family sharing and media purposes. Okay, so
Where'd you go?
go click on the Apple ID. One up.
Apple ID.
Okay, one down, sorry, subscriptions. Okay, go click on Cloud Plus. Nothing, okay.
Nothing.
Right. Okay, just wanted to see that. Okay, so go ahead and say done at the bottom.
Oh, up here. That's where she got.
Bottom right, no, of this window, right underneath. Yeah, done.
I can't reach it yet. I'm sorry. I can't reach it.
Oh, got it. Okay, so now go up to, on the left side to your name, like there, yeah, and click on that. And now go to your cloud. And this is not the same cloud as hers.
No.
So, scroll, no, so, scroll up again. Okay, so, when you set up, when Catherine, since you're the one who handles it, when you set up the family group, did you send an invitation for Robin to accept to be part of it?
Yeah.
Because she's using her own space.
Okay, maybe she didn't say yes. I don't think she had started her new computer yet, which she was waiting to do.
That's
maybe.
right. That's right.
But the question I would have right now, since you're already using your own space, and I don't want to give you an answer that I'm not sure about. I'm going to give you a question that you guys need to ask, maybe call Apple. You already have stuff in the cloud under your Apple ID. If you get invited to use the family one and you stop paying yours, which is kind of what I did, but my kids were so young, they didn't really have stuff in it yet. But now my whole family uses the one bucket of what I pay. By the way, this doesn't mean that people have access to each other's things, huh? It's not. There's no, you wouldn't see. You're just, it's like you all live in a house and there's 5 rooms with locks and, you know, there's one house for everyone and each one has their own room. So it's not like you're sharing your stuff when you do a family group. You're just sharing the same space. Okay, that's all. But each one has their own passwords to get into their own stuff and no one can share material or anything like that. So you need to find out that if you now change and add your Apple ID to the family group, if you should stop paying for this one and is all your stuff going to go in there. Can you head down to the right underneath this colorful stuff? It says account storage. Go to the word manage. No, up above, the colorful iCloud, whatever that, yeah, there to the right, it says manage. I was wanting to see if you say change storage plan, if you could have the option to, no, go up. In case you have option to choose the family plan, go to change storage for a second. And let's see if a choice is to join, no. Okay, so go ahead and say cancel. So you're paying $2.99 for your stuff. And
yeah.
Hold on, just say done to that. Say done. Yeah, we don't want to change storage. Say done. Okay. And then say done to that. Yeah. So you have used almost half of your space. Okay. I'm not gonna venture to say, first of all, Catherine, you might want to send her another invitation to join the space in case you missed the first one.
Okay.
And then see what happens when she says yes, because technically your stuff should transfer to being used in the other one and you should be able to stop paying yours. When I did that to my family, I stopped paying theirs. That's it. They didn't have stuff in theirs to worry about and everyone has their stuff on the cloud now in one bucket. But you have stuff in there, so I want to make sure that it transfers, like you can find it in the other storage first before you transfer, okay?
At
I'm gonna
this
stop your
point,
share.
I have it also on my computer, I believe. I think I have
Yeah, so go to the iCloud Drive.
almost everything.
Yeah, I think it's transferred by now. Click on that and you turn this on. Okay, so it already came in. Okay, say done. Good. So now you have put your stuff on the drive. I'm going to stop your share. So in the time that we were speaking, all the files that she had on her computer are moving up to the cloud. Now, let me explain. When I say moving up to the cloud, she flipped that switch on. I was just trying to check in on her storage space because of what Catherine says, but all the stuff that she used to have when she would click on something cloud, now they're going up to the cloud. Now, physically, does that change? No, physically, this is still here. I still see it in my computer. My documents, instead of being over there, is here, right? It's like, it seems a minimal difference. But there is a big difference in the fact that if this computer dies, I don't lose this file because this file I can access in the cloud. Now, notice that I have some files that don't have any icon here, and I have some others that have a little cloud. You see that? Same with the desktop. I have some that have this little tiny icon and some that don't. You see the difference? So for many different reasons, but the whole point is that this one is living in my computer and in the cloud. This one is still in the cloud, and I'm just seeing the name. And if I want it, so just watch, okay? Because it takes 2 seconds. Any of these that have a little cloud, or not 2 seconds, it takes 2/10 of a second or whatever. If I want to see this file right now in my computer, I click on it like anyone would, right? And I go, yeah, sure, this is what I want. If I were to double click for it to open right now, it would open in my computer. But if I just want it to come, I'm going to click on this little tiny little cloud and click on it and see, there you go. That was so quick. You barely saw it.
Wow.
The cloud is gone. Now a copy, not a copy. When I say the word copy, people get confused. Now I can open it in the cloud. That hesitation of what? A split portion of a second that it took to download it. If I were to have wanted to open it and double clicked, it would have done that little tiny hesitation first, and then it would have opened, because it needs to transfer itself to the cloud. What this means is that all the stuff that you have is available for you to see and do whatever you want in your computer right now. But if you want to open it, then that little cloud icon will disappear. It's still in the cloud. Okay, this file is still in the cloud. If I look over here, it's desktop in my cloud. But it's actually something I can work on in the computer now. So if I'm going to be traveling and I know I'm going to need these 3 files, and I might be in the airplane disconnected from Wi-Fi, I might want to click on this little cloud so that they're accessible on my computer. Even though they live in the cloud, they're accessible to my computer until I connect to Wi-Fi again.
Oh.
Okay. So if I want to access this one from the airport when there's no Wi-Fi and no connection, it'll show me a preview of it. But if I try to make changes on it and stuff, I might have to wait until I go, or it might change it, but then when you get back into connection, then they'll sync with each other. Okay. So that's the only difference between having stuff in the computer or in the cloud. So if you have them on the cloud, and your cloud, here, let me switch back to my system settings now. So all she did to switch that, she went over here and turned on this little guy. Okay, but she had space on her computer to do that. Files, documents, files don't take up too much space. So just about everyone would be able to do that. The place where it does become more questionable, she already had it done, which is the photos. You can't just willy-nilly turn on your photos, because if you have a ton of photos, then it'll say, well, yeah, but for that you need to pay more, right? So if you're on a free account and you say on for your desktop and documents folder, it might be fine. But if you say on for your photos to go to the cloud, then you might be in trouble, because your photos, your cloud doesn't have space for all your photos, in which case you might have to start paying $1 a month or $2.99 or whatever, depending on how much stuff you have. Okay, so now Odessa, Julie, and Lynn are the only ones who have said they're still not on the cloud, and Susan hasn't answered. So you 3, Lynn, Julie, and Odessa, and maybe Susan, you don't have to do this, but just letting you know that if you don't, at the very minimum, you have to for sure get yourself a time machine. And I know Julie has one. I don't have it on top of my head right now of Lynn and Odessa. Lynn, Sam, not Robin, Lynn. And Odessa, I don't know if you guys have a time machine or not. You have, oh, Susan, you're also not. Oh, you never answered. I was asking you before. Are you, is your stuff on the cloud?
I have a time machine, which I got at your last class.
Got it. And is your stuff on the cloud or on your hard drive?
On the cloud.
In the cloud. Okay, good. All right, just trying to see if there is a yes or a no. All right, so what this means is that now when I and I'm going to just demo this. We did all this last class, but a few of you guys are new to this class. So I'm going to just show you relatively quickly because this is more of a review show and tell. It means that if I go and share my, here, if I go to the cloud, any cloud, if say that I was in the path of the hurricane, I finally make it to, you know, to a place where I can access the internet, I can go to iCloud.com. So you don't need to, you can do this on your own, but I'm just demoing. I'll sign in and I will sign in. And once I'm in here, this could be happening on, I could be in the East Coast, West Coast, Argentina, Bangladesh, it doesn't matter. I go to someone's computer, it doesn't matter. And I click iCloud.com. All that matters is that I should know my Apple ID. And then when I go over here, I can go to my iCloud drive. And here it'll show me, when I go to browse, it'll show me my desktop and my documents. Now it also says downloads, but hold on, I want to be careful with that one because desktop and documents, and I'm going to double click on one. This that I see right here is exactly the same stuff I have on my desktop. So look, I'm going to share my entire screen. I don't want it to get confusing, but I want to share my entire screen. So here's my, my internet. Okay. I am now, imagine that I am now in a place that's completely, my computer is dead, washed away, stolen, hard drive crashed. I have gone to the internet. I have gone to iCloud.com. And when I click on my desktop, this stuff that's here is the same stuff that technically right now is still on my computer, but if your computer is dead, that used to be on your computer. So here's a folder called Family Files Example. Here it is, Family Files Example. Here's a Family PPTX. Here it is, right? So this is how I'm accessing my files that are here. But if my computer were dead, gone, washed away, stolen, broken, this would still be here. My desktop files would still be here. My documents files would still be here. Okay, so all my documents, what I was showing you for my broccoli cheese, carrot cake, these things I've been using kind of to play around with, those are the same ones that I was showing you in my documents folder in my computer. Okay, so that is the advantage, so to say, of putting your stuff in the cloud. But it is not 100%. I'm not saying, okay, it's not 100% of you need to do this. It's not like I'm asking you to do that. I am showing you the goods and the bads. What does matter to us when we organize them is that it won't make any difference if you organize them because your stuff is in your computer or in the cloud. It doesn't matter at all. Anything we do will happen on wherever it is. You can make files and folders and move stuff around, and it's organization. If I organize and create a new folder here, that folder will appear up here in the cloud. Oh, I'm not sharing both. Hold on. If I'm okay, so this is the cloud drive and the internet. See, these are tabs. This is the internet. If I make, if I'm in my computer, this is my computer finder now. If I'm in my computer and I make a new folder now here to hold my recipes, right? Then when I go to the internet, there will be a new folder in here that holds my recipes. Does that make sense? It's the same exact. And now to make matters either more confusing or less confusing, depending on how you see things, I'm going to show you how I can go to my phone. Okay. So those of you who said yes, that your stuff is in the cloud, open up your phones and your iPads and search for an app called Files, which for me is down here in the second page. If you can't find it, no matter how much you look, just go down here and search, click on the search button, and then write the word Files, and that folder will appear. So this is for anyone and everyone whose stuff is on the cloud. Click on that, and there you are. Now, when you first arrive here, you might have been like in Recents or something like that. I don't know where you'll be, but once you click on where you are, iCloud Drive, then here it'll say Desktop and Documents.
Is
Desktop,
it Files or Files folder, file folders?
it's just, the app is called Files, Files.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm moving. Okay, so there's my desktop, and recognize family files. The family, these are the things that I was showing you that I have on my desktop. This is stuff that's on my computer's desktop, which I also saw on the internet and which I also see here. And this is that flyer that I said is like, it's 10 years old, look, from 2014. Right, look at how old that flyer is. I can click on that and it'll open up and I can look at this flyer that is visible on my phone because it's on my computer. Okay.
I'm getting a question, like create a family folder, like this would be to share files with Catherine.
Oh, did you send something, Catherine? No.
She has sent something, and
That right now? Right now? Or
no,
just-
it's from the past, and I didn't have a shared folder, so we got it to me a
Okay,
different
a
way.
shoulder feel is different thing. See how at the bottom here it says shared folder? That's a
Yeah.
different thing. That's creating a folder that everyone can access. When I said people don't access your stuff, yeah, unless you make a shared file, a folder, and you give it access to Catherine and stuff like that.
So it
That's
would be
that's what I'm
okay
not
to-
asking.
It would
If-
be okay to do that because I'm not finding the other
No,
file.
no. That's good. That's a completely different thing. No. So
I'm not finding the other one.
okay, so do you see here the word browse?
Yes.
Okay, click on browse. And then when you do browse, are you seeing this now?
No.
What are you?
No, I'm
But
not.
when you did browse, where did you go?
I went.
Did you end up on
Wait-
something
wait
like
a minute.
this?
Some of them are there, yeah. Some of them are specific things and some
Okay.
of them are.
So you're-
but
you
I
must-
see
No,
desktop
so you must,
documents,
yeah,
downloads,
okay.
pages.
Okay, so then click on, if you see those, then click on desktop.
Okay.
That said, this is important. You just connected. And if you have a lot of stuff, it might have not finished transferring. But what you should see here in the desktop, everyone who has this, look at your computer's desktop and look at your phone and look and see if these are the same things. And for those of you who just cleaned up your desktop, because I told you to, then go back and check on your documents and see if these folders, these things are what you have in your documents, and you'll see that it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
it
All right.
is.
So that's just because you just flipped that little thing in your system settings and told it to include your files. And so now that's why, like half an hour ago, your stuff was not accessible anyway, other than on your computer. And now by flipping that switch, now you're accessing your stuff from your computer. Not from your computer, from everywhere. All right. I do want to acknowledge that I have unknowingly passed the ending of the class by 10 minutes. And normally I'm so aware But in the middle of my explanation, I forgot my alarm isn't working. Usually my alarm reminds me when it's I must have turned something off. So for those of you who had to leave, I suddenly noticed ding, 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 2 or 3 people leaving. And I thought, oh, and that's when I looked at the time. So I usually try not to teach new things during the last bit of a class. I apologize for those of you who stayed too late. If you want to keep hanging out for some questions for now, that was kind of wrapping it up. I said I would show you how to organize things. We'll start with that on Wednesday. Right now, I just wanted you all to understand that if you're on the cloud, now you have access it from any place, but we're going to still focus as of next week, next Wednesday, on organizing on our computer. It's much easier. You can organize on the phone, but it's much harder, right?
Yeah.
But no, we're going to organize on our computer, but whatever we do on our computer, for those of you who are in the cloud, will replicate itself across. And for those of you who only have it on your computer, you will organize what's on your computer. So
I'm
it's
very
good for everyone.
excited.
Cool.
Thank you.
So, Susan, you said your screen comes up black, which now I'm just answering questions, right? So what screen comes up blank?
My phone, when you said click on browse
Uh-huh.
on my phone, nothing comes up. It's a completely blank screen.
Okay. When are you in your computer, you do have it turned on and your stuff does say that it's in the cloud? I think you
have
said
my phone turned on, or my computer?
No, sorry. You're set on your computer. You did. Sorry, let me clarify. On your computer, does your Finder window say that your documents are in the cloud? That. Because you hadn't said yes or no, but then verbally you said yes. On the Finder, when you click on documents, does it say down here that your stuff is in the cloud? Or does it say that it's in your hard drive like that?
It says cloud. Mm-hmm.
Cloud. So when you click on documents, it says cloud. Okay. So then, since I can't see your phone, did you do this process in the past? I think you were in class before when we did this. Did you go online and check and see if you can get to iCloud.com? Did you do this with us? iCloud.com?
I don't remember. Where do I go again?
Okay, so make a new browser and go iCloud.com. And since I just did this a little while ago, you must have been busy with something else. I'm gonna just show it to you once, but then I do need to leave too, because I have stuff to do, but go to iCloud.com and then watch the last 10 minutes where I just did this. So you can do it yourself, but I just want to make sure that if you go to the iCloud.com, that you can sign in and see if you can see your files on the iCloud. Because if you can see them in the iCloud, then you could or should be able to see them on your phone.
Okay.
Okay, tell me where you're at. You're signing in?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you're done signing in, head down and click on the word drive. And meanwhile, while you're doing that, Robin has a question. So I'll ask a question until you're all signed in. Yes, Robin?
I would like to get that Macintosh HD icon back on my computer again. And I know it's simple, but I don't even know how it went away.
Okay, so go to your Finder window, right? Click on downloads.
Okay, how do I do that?
Just go to your dock and click on that half smiley face, blue and white icon, and then you'll get a Finder window.
Yep, I have one.
Okay, click on the word downloads.
Yeah.
Okay, now go click on the word Macintosh.
Got it.
Hard drive.
Yep.
And then, no, hold on. Oh, you don't want it here. You want it on your desktop.
I do.
I'm
I want
sorry.
the
I was
icon that I can access.
I was sending you to put this one in there. Sorry. I was sending you to the wrong place. Okay.
Okay.
Go to your, forget it. You don't, it's not a finder window issue. It's
Okay.
go to the word finder
Okay.
settings and then sidebar and then
Wait a minute, sidebar.
no.
I get it. I see it.
Well, under general, is this one turned on? Hard disks is turned on?
Under general? Yes, it is.
Where was it? I thought this is where you get the hard disk. I just,
On the sidebar?
if you turn this on, I'm trying to remember what, because this doesn't, just only shows SPCC, it doesn't show you the Macintosh hard drive.
No,
I
it doesn't.
I showed it last time.
Well, here's Robin Lynn Jacobs MacBook Pro.
Yeah,
but
that's not
But
the same
that's not
thing.
it.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank. I just taught you all how to do it last week and suddenly I can't remember, but let me check. I do need to run and I do need to finish helping Susan.
Yeah.
So Macintosh HD on desktop. General, it should. If you find, yeah, it's right. It should be. If you choose Finder settings general, it should be this one here. This is what we
Hard
should make a
disk,
difference.
external disks.
Hard drive, hard disks,
Yeah, I have it.
and it's not showing up on your screen.
Maybe it's not where I expect it to be. I don't know. I'll
Okay,
have
so share your computer. I'm sorry, I wasn't aware how much over the top I'd gotten, so I'm a little bit more antsy to go because my husband's waiting for me, but it's okay, go for it. Share your screen.
I'm trying to get to the right place to do that. I can't find the share button now.
All right, so
There it is. I found it.
okay.
I found it another way.
Cool. All right, so can you close these windows so that we don't, yes. Trying to see, since you have so much stuff, whether it isn't there already. There it is, you have it right there. You just messed up, right? Stop. Put your mouse in the middle of your screen. There, stop. Okay, move it to the left. Yeah, and one up. No. When I said there, just stop moving your mouse. Stop. Okay, now move like 2 inches to your left, and there it is.
I see it.
Okay, you just got dragged into the wrong place, but yeah, that's why it was like, I was surprised because I'm like, yeah, that's how you do that. If you,
okay, great.
I figured it
Thank
was
you.
messy. You're welcome, Susan.
Done.
Yeah.
So did you get into iCloud.com?
Yes.
And when you go to browse files to Cloud Drive, do you see your files? Want to share your screen?
When I go to Cloud Drive,
Just share your screen. Share your screen. It's much faster. Okay. So now on the drive, move over to the left, or don't move over it. Move your mouse over to the left, bottom left. Move your mouse bottom. Yeah. And then right under that. Yeah. Double click on that cloud. Okay. So then go up to the left side and click on browse. And nope, your stuff's, there it is, desktop and you have so much loose stuff. Wow. Okay. So double click on documents, for example. On the, no, now go into the, what's the iCloud Drive is showing you, move to the right, move to the files, to the right. Right is the, yeah, now down, 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 and like 10th down or something, you'll see desktop and documents. So double click on documents. Okay, this is what should be in your documents folder on your computer. Let's open a Finder window and let's see if that's true. Go to the doc and pull up in a Finder window and move this over to the right a little bit so we can see both, like click and drag it over. I want to be able to compare. That's not your, that's your downloads. I want you to go to your documents. Yeah. And then I want to see both this and what's on your internet. And so you need to move one over a little bit. Okay. And now make this, view this one as list because you can't compare them when the other one isn't list and this one isn't. Okay. So now scroll up or bottom or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So now click one time on the word name because you have them upside down, alphabetical order. Click on the word name that's right above your hand. Like right, one up. Yeah, click. Okay, so now it's in alphabetical order. So now scroll up again to the top and let me see items. Andrew Wang. It doesn't look like it's the same thing. That's why I'm confused. 63 items. Can you move your Finder up a bit more so I can see underneath at the bottom? Yeah, iCloud Drive documents, and you're in your iCloud Drive documents. So maybe you have them organized in a different way. Go to the documents on your computer. Oh, those aren't in alphabetical order. This is 545 items, and in this one it says only 63 items. So I'm confused because it looks like you have different
You're
documents.
confused. If you're confused, this is not.
Is this the same Apple ID that you're using?
Yes, I think.
Okay, let's on the right side, let's scroll down to see if you get to the Andrew. Is there a folder called Andrew Ward? No, it's two different things what you're showing, and that's why I'm confused. Okay, so stop for a minute. Let me take over. Okay, this is not, I needed to go, but this is,
I mean,
needs
this
to be
stuff is so,
fixed.
half of this has to come off. I'm telling you, I'm seeing stuff.
Okay, so
know.
I'm requesting remote control. Can you say yes to that for a second? Okay, so don't move your mouse anymore, please. Some people, and this isn't gonna work, is it? Okay, I'm gonna do it with my mouse here. Huh. It says that I can control it, but it's not. Do you have a mouse? Are you holding on to it or anything?
No.
My mouse isn't being able to.
You want me to hit open system settings?
Oh, does it say open system settings?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. You need to give me permissions. I'm sorry. Click on that Zoom button to the right side.
The toggle?
Yeah, put your computer password or finger or whatever you use. Okay, so now you're done. Now don't touch your computer. You put in your password? Okay, now I'm using it. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm just trying to understand. Do you have your system settings here? Hold on. I'm just trying to be. So this is done. This is working. These are your documents. And then over here. You don't seem to have your recents turned on. You
Oh,
don't
I
have
need-
to, but I'm going to because I need to see if we're talking about the same thing. And yeah, coming. I know. Sorry. I don't know. Just
I'm just calling your name.
hold on. I'm in class still.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand what's happening here. Okay, it's okay. Now we're in the same spot-ish. Here's all your happy for no one, baby. Austin Wang. Okay. No.
To hide that.
And I thought I got rid of all these screenshots. Ugh.
Okay, this is really confusing to me because some of your stuff is there. And others is not,
mean,
and I
with-
saw
with-
Wang somewhere and I didn't, and you have,
With all that I transferred over to this computer from my old one, and I also have this Dropbox, I don't know how to get rid of this Dropbox. With all the stuff on the Dropbox. It's always giving me notifications that it's full and I don't even know why it's there and what it's being used for.
at some point you got a Dropbox. Okay,
Yeah.
give me a second. I'm still trying to see if maybe this just didn't update yet or.
Is that?
Okay, both your desktops are empty, so that's good news. That means it's the same desktop. But when I go to your documents and I browse and I go now to your documents here. Items from, oh, you have this folder. Finally, we were not looking at okay. Yes, they're identical. Phew, look at that. Items from document to organize, transformation, Oliver, Andrew Wang, Austin. So they're identical. You see that?
Yeah.
On the left side online, you have items, transformation, 306 Oliver, Andrew Wang. And I look over here and I see items, transformation, Oliver, Andrew Wang. You see that?
Yeah.
This is your computer. This is iCloud. So they're exactly the same thing. Here has ceremony rituals, okay? Feminine power. So what you have on your computer is online, no question. I just needed to check because you had them set up visually so differently that it was hard to check before. Okay, so now we know that the stuff is there, which is the first thing I needed to know. Now you said that on your phone, you can't see this. But now that I've confirmed that it's available on the cloud, then it should be available on the phone if you open the files. So one recommendation, you said that you just saw black, right? So one recommendation is to restart your phone right after this class and then go back in. Once you open it again, go open the files, browse the files app, browse and then documents. And then if it's still dark, just let it be there and it might take some time. What phone do you have?
God, let's see here.
Newish, medium-ish, oldish?
A couple of years.
Okay, that's newish. Okay. Do you have it connected to Wi-Fi or on data?
I just turned off the data. It's on Wi-Fi.
Okay, so then go ahead and do that. Go ahead and check again on the file. Remember, the app is called Files and it looks just like
Yeah.
a blue folder.
Right, right.
Okay. And then what screen do you see when you first click on that?
Well, it's on recent and then I'll.
It's on
I-
recents. Okay. On the
I-
far right, you can click on Browse
Yep. That's nothing.
and then click on iCloud Drive.
There's nothing. It just comes up blank like that. There's nothing on there.
Go back to recents for a second.
Mhm.
Does it have at the top the same? Oh, I turned your, did I leave you? I think I left your recents on when I was using your computer and I stopped your share. When you go to browse, it's empty. Go
Yeah.
to the top. Did you reset your phone? Did you reset your settings yet? Because otherwise that might be something that you might need to check in with Apple Tech. That's an Apple app. I've checked and your stuff is in the cloud. So as long as everything is connected, it should be there.
Well, I'll just call Apple. I have.
When you click, you can't even browse. It's not like when you browse, nothing shows up. You just see recents.
Just black. just
So do me a favor, close the app, restart your entire phone, and then come check again. And if it's not there, then yeah, call Apple.
Okay, thank you.
Because that is now an app issue that I don't know how to. You might want to also say on the phone, just Google, before you call Apple, Google and say, can't browse my files on my phone as a suggestion and see if there's any workaround that sometimes a certain app has or not have. You might get answers before you call Apple, and if not, call Apple. Okay. And then tell me on on Wednesday what happened if you do call Apple. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Bye, everyone. See you guys in a couple of days.
Thanks so much.
Yes.
Yeah.